Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Six and Below. This week, we're going to the MCU with Captain America, 1990. I'm Eric. This is Darren.
Welcome into Six and Below Movie Podcast.
Cue the intro.
This is where it all started, mate.
Captain Polio.
People say Iron Man was the first one for the MCU universe.
He wasn't. He was not. He was not, because in 1990, someone came up with the brilliant idea to make a Captain America film. And he looks like this.
To be fair,
can see on YouTube or Spotify.
To be fair, though, it is pretty close to the comic books.
Is it?
Yes.
Having never read the comic books, I'm just putting it out there.
Have you never seen the...
The only thing I know about Captain America is from this and the MCU, the Infinity Saga.
Right, okay. So, at the very end, when it goes to the credits,
Yes.
it morphs to a cartoon, doesn't it?
Yes.
That is the character.
Yes,
from
I
the
gathered
comic
that.
book.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like him, with his little wings on the side of his head.
And his rubber ears.
Yeah, his rubber ears. Did you know the people who designed this suit was the same people who done Batman?
Batman from 1989. Yeah, I read that,
So I think they went up to him with like the very small budget, said, "You got any leftover latex?"
Yeah. It needs to be blue. Apparently that suit was so bad that the actor, what was his name? Matt Salinger. Because we were filming in Yugoslavia, I think he lost like 25 pounds just sweating through that suit because it was that warm and I didn't breathe at all. It was just poor fella.
It's great.
He is.
And supposedly, the reason why he's got rubber ears is because he had his mask on. He was chafing, so he had to tuck his ears in and have little rubber ears on the side of his head.
I mean, I'm not surprised. He doesn't look comfortable.
Not at all.
Who the hell thought that costume would be a good idea? I know, like, obviously in a comic book, you want to make it look bright and appealing to children and certain adults. But, I mean, it's not practical, is it? Especially if he was just a normal bog standard superhero going around a city saving people and what have you. Fair enough. People dress as bats and stuff. But if you're literally sending them to war in World War II, who the frick thinks that's a good idea?
Great camouflage.
It is great camouflage if you were stood against an American flag.
Yes.
Any other place.
Hence the colours.
Yeah. Like in the recent ones, he doesn't wear anything looking like that, does he? Well, it's not as bright and colourful. So Darren's got a picture of him on the wall. It's better.
Yeah.
It's they've gone with more of a darker blue.
Yeah.
Than the bright, whatever the frick that's supposed to be.
The new one with Chris Evans looks a lot better.
He looks like he's wearing marigolds on that picture.
It does. It does. With a dog frisbee.
Yeah. It's dog frisbee. I've got some facts about that frisbee later on.
Oh yeah. Interesting to hear it.
Yeah.
Have you watched any other movies this week?
Hey, no, I don't think so. Oh, I watched the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Ooh, stay tuned, guys, because in 2 weeks' time...
Next week.
Yes.
Next week.
No, 2 weeks.
No.
Next week is going to be Chappie.
No, it's not. No, it's
Bezos.
not. No,
We've
it's
got to
not.
wait for Bezos because he'll take it off.
I don't want to do Chappie. Chappie is a terrible film. That has a 6.8 on IMDb.
How?
I don't know. That's why I mentioned it, because I don't know. The thing that pisses me off about that film, I've only seen it once, right? And the thing that miffs me off is it's got them weird people from that the Antwoord, that South African band, Ninja, and Yolandi or something like that. They are weird.
Yeah.
If you ever want to look for weird people, and I think they're serious when they're doing it, it's a rap group from South Africa. Just go onto YouTube and type in The Antwoord.
Or
apparently
it's
Welcome
Afrikaner
for The Answer.
Is it like Welcome Ninja or something like that?
Something like,
song.
Into the Ninja or something like that.
Enter the Ninja.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a weird song.
Just watch that music video. It's weird.
I am a samurai.
Need your protection. Yeah. Oh, she's weird. To be fair, though, that ninja guy, he's not a bad rapper. Considering, what he's singing about is weird, But his actual rapping skills, I think, are quite good. He can spit a verse better than I could.
I remember watching a YouTube video about it, and about the people.
Yeah.
Like somebody went and stayed with him for like 6 months doing a documentary.
Yeah.
And they are meant to be off their barnet.
They look like it, mate. They look like it. You could just look at them and think, you guys are crazy.
Right, we'll talk about all this next week.
No,
right,
because
we
we're not
delve
watching Chappie.
deeper into it.
Oh, I might put a vote on the channel, Chappie, or...
We might do that.
We'd only have a day to do it, though, don't we? Because obviously we've got to watch the film.
Yes, true.
Fine, I'm doing Chappie, but... Yeah.
Then the week after, Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's my edit when it comes to League of Extraordinary.
Yeah, so I've got to do fucking Chappie. No, other way round.
Clark Bezos would take it off.
I don't care.
He did last time. We was going to do it. And he took it off.
Good. Jeff, if you're out there, take it off.
Right, we'll have this argument off air, right? Let's get to
whatever.
Captain Polio.
Captain what?
Captain Polio.
Captain Polio.
Captain Polio. Right, click quiz. So if you think you know what the film this is, let us know down below in comments, or you can contact us on
sixandblowpodcast@gmail.com.
Perfect. And if you want to play along with any of our awards when we give them out to the films that we're doing, if you join our YouTube page and on the little community section, we will put up films what are coming out, and then you can then play along. Let us know on air. We'll read them out live when we're doing a video for it.
We're on Twitter now as well. The
Six
and Below Pod, I think it is.
Yeah,
should be in the corner.
Something like that. Very new on there. Needs to start getting used to it again. And actually start using it, to be fair. But anyway, click quiz. Let us know if you can guess who it is and what movie it is.
That one. I've never had this one.
What is it?
Monster Energy Ultra Fiesta.
Yeah, it is actually right, isn't it? Go, Monster, give us a sponsor.
Well, we've entered into a contract with the city to run local law enforcement. But at Security Concepts, we believe an efficient police force is only part of the solution. No, we need something more. We need a 24-hour-a-day police officer.
Yeah, I think I know what that is.
I forgot how gory this film is.
Especially the beginning. Yeah.
I watched like 5 or 10 minutes of it, skip through, and I thought, I forgot how much of a good film it is, but at the same time, it's gory.
Get shot in the dick, doesn't he?
Everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
All over. So if you think you know what that is, starring, I'm assuming it's Ronnie Cox.
It is.
Please let us know below.
Because Matt Salinger, he's not really been in much, has he?
He has not, no.
No. We'll let you know about that one when we get to it. Vitals for the film. Released in 1990. Run-hour time is 1 hour and 30. IMDb rating, got to trip myself up then, 3.2.
Woo!
Metacritic, not available. Amazon star rating?
5.5. 4.5. 5.5. 4.5.
I'm going to say 4.5. I didn't really look, if I'm being honest with you. But it most likely will be. Rotten Tomatoes, however, a little bit harsh, 6% with critics.
I agree. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, 6%.
Audience.
Is that the lowest we've done from Rotten Tomatoes? No, we had one that had 0, didn't we?
Yeah, American Ninja, I think it was the
original.
Was it
American Ninja?
And then Samurai Cop might have been around that as well. Both classics. Go check them out. Audience, 19%. Okay, one of the critics wrote, I thought it was quite funny. I seen one of their little review for it. One of the critics, they wrote, "This movie isn't merely wrong for kids, it's just wrong." I thought it was quite cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that
budget.
pretty much sums it up. Well,
3 million.
3 million? What did they spend that on?
Oh, no.
I mean, from what I've read, they filmed it in the former Yugoslavia to try and save money. I mean, so what else did they... How much was the suit?
Well, I don't know about that bit. But however, box office gross, 10K. $10,000. Yeah. However,
worldwide.
However, here's the weird thing about it.
Right, go on.
It was only released in cinemas in Yugoslavia. Everywhere else in the world, America, it was straight to fucking film.
It was only released in Yugoslavia.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
How weird is that?
That is weird. Well, there was film there, so they probably just said you have to release it in our cinemas, otherwise you ain't filming it.
So yeah,
Oh
10K.
my god,
And get
10K.
this. It wasn't released on DVD until 2011.
No, I'm not surprised. Like we had to watch it on YouTube. You couldn't find it anywhere. The only
No.
place we could find it was on YouTube. Someone's ripped it and put it on YouTube. It wasn't us.
So you could watch it free of charge, but I'll watch it on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay, other top grossing films of 1990.
Go on.
Home Alone, 290 million.
Oh yeah.
Ghost, 217. Dances with Wolves, 184.
Nice.
Obviously, I can't find a ranked for it, so I thought I'd play a little higher and lower game for 2003. No, for 1990.
Right. Okay.
Completely got my years up. So, higher and lower, yeah?
Yeah. Higher and lower than what?
Kindergarten Cop was 91 million.
Right.
Back to the Future 3, that make more or less?
I saw that in the cinema. You know, Back to the Future. I think Back to the Future made more money than Kindergarten Cop. What?
87 million.
In Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah. The
Right.
Godfather Part 3. Higher or lower than Back to the Future 3?
That's a shit film, that. So I'm going to say lower.
66 million.
Right.
Goodfellas. Higher or lower than Godfather?
Good fella. I'm going to say it made less, lower.
Lower?
Yeah.
46 million.
Right, okay.
I mean, Kindergarten Cop was nearly double that.
It's Arnie, though, isn't it? It's a star power.
That's it. Okay, Problem Child.
Problem
Higher
Child.
or lower than Goodfellas? Remember
Lower.
that little
Yeah,
ginger
I know
kid?
what Problem Child is.
Yeah.
Lower. Higher.
Higher than Goodfellas, mate.
Oh,
53 million.
Jesus. I think it might be because of Goodfellas rating, maybe, because, like, yeah, Problem Child was opened up to more of an audience, innit?
True. I remember watching it as a kid. I thought it was quite funny. Rocky 5.
Rocky 5. I'm going to say the lower.
Lower than Problem Child.
Lower than Problem Child.
40 million.
Yeah. By the fifth one, no one gives a shit.
3 Men and a Little Lady.
Ooh. I'm going to say higher.
71 million.
Yeah.
Die Hard 2.
Then 21 million. I'm going to say lower. Higher.
117 million.
Fair enough.
Okay. So it made 117 million. Total Recall. Arnie's second film for that year.
Higher.
Higher.
Ooh.
119.
Right.
Child's Play 2.
Lower.
Yes. Not bad, mate. You've done all right there.
Thank you. Give myself a pat on the back. Woo!
Nice little quiz there. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I'd mix it up a little bit, doing a little bit higher or lower for that year because I couldn't find anything about the film.
I like a good quiz.
Yeah, so do I. Mix it up a bit. Do you let us know who it's directed, written, who
Yeah.
it stars?
So it was directed by a chap called Albert Pyun. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Pyun. Pyun. He's got 53 director credits, but I don't know why he even bothered being a director because all the films on his list seem to be absolutely shit.
Yep.
No offense, Albert, although you did die in 2022, so God bless your soul.
Albert
The only thing I noticed that I kind of recognise at all, Albert Pyun. He directed Cyborg in 1989.
That's on our list.
5.0. And then he went on to direct Kickboxer 2 in 1991
That's
and
good film.
Kickboxer 4 in 1994.
Didn't know it was a 4.
There was a 4. Well, they didn't invite you back for number 3, but they were like, fuck you, give him number 4. Total Recall 1990. He was approached to direct in 1983 by the Lad Company, so they had the rights to it at the time. But thank God he didn't end up directing it.
Yeah.
And obviously, as I mentioned, he died in 2002. God
To be
bless his
fair,
soul.
I don't think that would have been Schwarzenegger then, would it?
It probably wouldn't have been in 83. No.
Before he came
God
out.
knows he would have been. It probably would have been straight to DVD, well, straight to VHS or Betamax or whatever they had back then. So written by, two of the creators of Captain America get writing credits in this. We have Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. They both created Captain America. Actual writer of the script was a guy called Stephen Tolkien, who has 37 writing credits on IMDb. Now, he is known for, he did a uncredited rewrite of Masters of the Universe in 1987.
Was it Lord of the Rings as well?
Tolkien. Unfortunately not, but that would have been good.
Not that one.
You're like, step aside. He's done some TV work of late. So he's done Brothers and Sisters in 2010. He did 4 episodes of that. Never heard of it.
Nope.
The Legend of the Seeker in 2008 to 2010. He did 27 episodes. And somewhere between in 2017, he did 10 episodes. So starring wise,
big star power.
Have Matt Salinger as Steve Rogers and Captain America /Polio. He's got 37 acting credits. So the films he is known for, he originally starred in Revenge of the Nerds in 1984, which has a 6.6.
That's it.
He had a small part in What Dreams May Come in 1998, which has a 7. You ever seen that one?
Nope.
That's the one with Robin Williams when he dies and goes to heaven and ends up having to go to hell to rescue his wife. Good film. And A Call to Spy in 2019, which has a 6.7.
2019?
2019, yeah. So then we have Ronnie Cox as President Kimball. Now, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was big in the 80s and 90s. He's got 144 acting credits. So some of the films he's known for, Deliverance in 1972, which is 7.6. Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. 7.4. RoboCop, 1987 with a 7.6. Total Recall, 1990. He was in that.
What was he in that? Was he the announcer?
I'm not sure who he was, to be honest, in it. Well, the other one he was in was Deep Blue Sea. Now, if you remember back to our podcast, he was the guy who was basically sat at a desk, had no lines, just sat there while Samuel L. Jackson stood next to him talking at the beginning.
That was the easiest paycheck you could ever do.
I think he had his hand up Samuel's backside and was just using him as a puppet, because that's the way it seemed. But yeah, that was Ronnie Cox. And then the only other notable person was a guy called Ned Beatty, who plays Sam. He's got 163 acting credits, so he was also in Deliverance. He was in a film called The Network from 1967, which has an 8.1. I love that film. You ever seen it?
No.
Network. Should watch it. It's good. Superman. He was in that in 1978.
All right.
7.4. He was in the film Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Right.
I love that film.
He is. Actually,
1999. 6.8. He was in The Shooter with our Marky Mark. In 2007, 7.1. And then he was in Toy Story 3 in 2010. He did the voice of that evil bear.
Yeah.
The pink bear. Lotso. Yeah.
When you said that then, Toy Story was like, oh my God, the voice.
Yeah. He did the voice of Lotso, yeah.
No way.
That's and class. Unfortunately, he did die in 2021.
Oh.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
So that was the main cast.
I do believe that the young Sam, I think it was his son, was it?
It was his son, yeah. So
that's quite cool.
Yeah.
So who played Sharon?
I didn't bother looking at it.
You didn't look at it?
Some unknown person, yeah.
What, Burner?
Again.
Same person.
I just did them 3. Well, the young Bernie and Sharon are the same person, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then, but I thought...
So was the old one.
So is the old one?
Yeah.
Were they all the same person?
Yeah, it's Play-Doh. She put like Play-Doh on her face or something.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Because I seen when I was looking through it that that she plays young Bernie and Sharon, but I didn't realise that she also plays... Because I knew... You could tell that she had like aging mask on. I didn't realise it was the same people.
Yeah, her face was like the droopy and everything.
Shit, I didn't realise that. That's a good spot, that, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. Sharon!
Sharon!
So a bit of film trivia.
Yeah.
In an interview for the publication of Retro Junk, co-star Ronnie Cox said this movie remains to this day the finest script he had ever read. How those guys messed that film up, I will never know.
Well, one thing on paper compared to reality.
I know, right? Dolph Lundgren and Arnold Schwarzenegger were lined up for the role of Captain America. Schwarzenegger's accent lost in the role, and Lundgren was busy smoking crack and filming The Punisher to be able to do it.
Yep.
And I
who
don't know what
else?
they were going to do with his accent.
And Triangle Head.
Huh?
Triangle Head as well.
Yeah. So according to Steve James, American Ninja series films, while at AdventureCon in 1993, he had 2 meetings with producers at Canon Films in 1984, where he was given the script and the concept art for Captain America film. He said the producers asked him to play Marvel's Sam Wilson/Falcon next to Michael Dudikoff's Captain America. James was set to play the character all the way up until Stephen Tolkien's script was introduced. Yeah. And the original mask had holes that allowed Salinger's ears to poke through, which we've already mentioned. The main shields for close-ups were made of galvanized steel. 4 rubber shields were used for stunt work and 4 plastic shields for pitching and catching.
You can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell. Whenever he throws it and someone catches it, it's like, yeah, that's plastic.
That noise though.
Yeah. In the film, Steve Rogers' love interest is called Bernice Bernie Stewart. She is based on a comic book character, Bernadette Bernie Rothenthal, a lawyer who served as Rogers' girlfriend during the 1980s. In the film, Captain America / Steve Rogers is a native of Redondo Beach, California. In the comics, Rogers is a native of New York City.
Sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? I'm from the Bronx.
New York City! Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be from New York. Why did he make him into California? I don't get it.
I don't know. Trying to appeal.
I think it's because like parts of Yugoslavia looks like California more than New York.
Yeah, I reckon so, mate. Yeah, if you go to the coast.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what after it's go to the coast.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty bloody much.
I mean,
but,
I think that part might have been in American, wasn't it?
Possibly. Because I imagine that whatever the studios or wherever the production company was from was probably in LA, so it was probably just convenient to just go down the road.
Yeah, true. Any other general notes before we start?
Not really, no.
Right, okay. Spoiler warning, by the way, guys, because this is a part where we break down a movie scene by scene, give it credit where credit's due, and give it a little roast along the way.
And we give it some awards at the end, so stay tuned to the end, and you'll also find out the results of the clip quiz if you haven't already guessed it already. And please hit that like and subscribe button, people.
Yep.
So,
let's start off with a film then.
Let's do this.
So the movie opens up, start of Italy, 1936.
Yeah.
Not a clue what anybody's saying because there's no subtitles or anything. No. It's like, Monsieur, what? It's like, what?
Buongiorno.
What's going on? It's like 5 minutes of dialogue. And they're talking Italian to each other.
And then they finally decide to stick a few subtitles on.
Yeah. So then the brave... these Germans...
I think they're Italian.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be because
they're part of Nazis, though, aren't they?
Well, just before the war, you had the fascist dictator Mussolini take over Italy, and so they were run by a fascist party. And then when the war kicked off, they joined forces with the Nazis, and then later decided maybe the Nazis aren't for us, and I think they overthrew Mussolini and came back onto our side. So at that point, they were kind of collaborating with the Nazis.
Okay, so the fascists then?
Yeah.
Mate, it was like a fucking SWAT team. They just kicked through the windows, barged through the doors. How weird was that? The way the guys just like jumped through the windows.
I put that here because they're just there listening. So they're listening to a kid play the piano, and a couple of local kids are just peeking through the window for some reason. And then all of a sudden, a soldier just comes through the window, and they're like, "What the frick?" And then the rest of them come through the door like normal freaking people.
Yeah, well, that one guy like, "You all right? I thought it'd be quicker."
Be like, "What are you doing?
Why did you do that? The door was open.
I know.
You didn't have to go break through the window."
I know. He just got a bit excited, didn't he? It's weird.
And by the way, right, this film is meant to be a PG.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because next is they say, we want to kidnap your kid for his superior intelligence. So there is a bit of subtitles there. And then hold the kid's head while they shoot his entire family. Obviously, you don't see them shoot his entire family, but by the look of the kid's face and all the gunfire and all the screams behind him, I'm pretty sure his family were brutally murdered.
Yes.
Which I don't get why, because like they could have just said, just take the kid, leave us alive.
Yeah, he's so intelligent he could play the piano.
I know. That's how low the bar was. And it's like, we need someone who can fuck the mathematics, fuck the scientists. We need someone who can play piano.
I'm so glad that I was like a C and a D.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not getting kidnapped.
No one's busting through my window. No one's taking me. But yeah, and for some reason, well, I know why, but they record the whole thing on a tape recorder because they're recording him play the piano.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing was just weird.
Really, really weird.
Really weird. So then we have that it's 7 years later. Oh, sorry. Fortress Lorenzo.
Yes.
So we go to Fortress Lorenzo, which features quite a bit in this film, which is kind of like, it just looks like a bog standard castle, doesn't it?
It's just their, like, bad guy villa hideout area.
Yeah.
Nowhere to camp out.
So again, we see them watching a movie of a rat.
Yeah.
For some reason, and they're like, here's a movie of this rat. Now here's this rat now. And it's like, surely if you were showing them a film of the rat, you would want to show them like the experiment and maybe the change that happens, but they don't. They just go, here's a quick whole movie of the rat, and this is him now.
And it looks like its skin's been turned inside out. It's horrible.
It literally looks like he's been folded. And they say, it's now twice as intelligent and twice as strong. And I'm like, how are you testing that?
Yeah. It's got it's a little bench press.
Look.
When he came in, this little rat, he was only doing tiny little 2.5 kilogram weights. Now he's doing 10.
We're doing 10. And we gave him a book to read, and now he can read it.
That's it. He knows Latin.
He knows the Latin. He is very, very smart, Red.
Very smart. Okay, this is a PG.
Yeah.
That would give kids nightmares.
He gave me nightmares.
That and Tesco face in a minute.
Tesco face. Testicle face.
Testicle face.
I thought you said Tesco.
Testicle.
Tesco face. But yeah, in a minute. But yeah, the rat thing looked like the end of a dog's dick. Like the lipstick.
Little red rocket.
Little red rocket. Red rocket.
I thought we're keeping this PG.
Oh yeah, PG with porn. Remember? But yeah, so then they bring the little boy in, and the boy's screaming and kicking and what have you, and they start attaching him to the thing. But
no
again,
subtitles throughout the whole bit.
No, so all I can assume is that the woman scientist, Dr. Vermicelli, whoever her name is, Dr. Vaseline. I'm assuming what she says is, no, I don't want to experiment on kids.
I thought it was her kid at first.
I did. I thought that was the mum on the first one.
That's what I thought. That's what. Oh, okay, yeah. So,
yeah,
they brought her son in to do the experiment. She's like, no, not my son. Anybody but my son. The guy's like, no, you experiment.
Well, God knows what she says. I was at one point going to just get Google Translate and just say, what did she just say?
They probably wouldn't even come up either.
They probably wouldn't. But I'm assuming, though, that she's saying, I don't want to experiment on kids. And they're like, you will. And she's like, I will not. And they go, right, guards, kill her.
And
even though...
Eats it out the window.
Yeah. Even though throughout the rest of the film, the whole kind of super soldier experiments and all stuff like that were apparently her brainchild and it's all up in her noggin. Mm-hmm. But they're just like, you don't want to experiment on the kids, that's fine, we kill you. Anyway, she fucking does one. Climbs out like a storm drain or something, and next thing is she's kind of climbing along the moat, is it?
It's like rocks. So she's getting inside of rocks. You can hear the little kid being experimental. You can hear him screaming inside the castle. And she starts crying, and then it just skips to 7 years later.
Yeah, 7 years later, 1943. Then we get an expo dump from the White House that Dr. Vaseline has escaped, or Vaselli, whoever her fucking name is, to the US and is now looking to conduct her experiments over there. That's nice.
Very nice of her.
Let's just bring the war criminals over like they did in Operation Paperclip and just be like, yeah, let's give her a lab and some volunteers.
Is that the NASA one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they took all the Nazi scientists.
Yeah.
Like Dr. von Braun and stuff. He was the head of bloody NASA for years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a thing, guys. That was a thing.
It is. They lapped them all up, forgave them all, even though like von Braun was a dirty Nazi. He was writing on the Nazi party, even had Jewish slaves building his rockets for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we? So they've lined up Steve Rogers in California to conduct some experiments on and try and turn into his testicle head.
Yep, so he's the first one now, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
First one to do this drug.
But they're protecting his identity, and he will only be known as Captain Canada. I mean, you're America.
How old is he meant to be, by the way? Because he looks about 40.
I think he's supposed to be like 15. I honestly don't know.
Because to say, don't know, we've got this kid here who's got polio. Yeah. And how do we know he's got polio?
Because he has a limp.
Because we see him limping.
That's it. That's the only giveaway. They're like, this guy, he should be in a wheelchair and all this. He's like, he's proper fucked up. And it's like, the guy just has a slight limp. Give him a break. Jesus.
I see it.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, in the 40s.
Well, yeah. So they're throwing a going away party for Steve as the war is still going on, and Steve's chatting to his mother, who gives him his dad's medal, which for some reason also has a locket in of a picture that he took. Apparently, one of his
just before he died, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of his sailor buddies took a photo of him and put it in a locket for him. So I think there was something going on there.
Yeah,
like,
you know the old stories about on a boat out in the sea.
Yeah. I know all that seamen swimming about.
Why was the local newspaper there? Because the whole operation is meant to be hush hush, but you got the newspaper taking pictures.
Yeah, you got the newspaper taking pictures, and maybe they're just like, oh God, are they really running out of that many men that are now sending kids with polio? Maybe it was a news story at the time, I don't know.
What you notice is his little childhood sweetheart, Bernie, isn't there, for the photos?
His little side piece.
So he goes off for a limp 2 miles away down the beach.
Yeah.
Tight bastards.
I know.
Couldn't give him a bike or anything, does he? He has to limp all the way to the beach.
She limps to her house, she ain't there, limps down to the beach, and for some reason she's just sulking down there for no reason. And it's like, Bernie, we're having a freaking going away party and you can't even bother to come. Oh, Steve, I don't want you to go.
I just love you.
I just love you so much.
Music choice in this film is so bad.
God. It's like they just gave it to someone a piano and said, just fucking go nuts.
It was like a 3-year-old.
It was. All the way freaking through.
Yeah, it was like the classic 90s straight to VHS films.
Because it was.
Same guy.
Because it was.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but it was. And then off he goes.
He's probably doing
it
in between doing porn films, wasn't he?
Yeah. And off he goes, smoking his cigarette in the back of the car as they drive off.
And Bernie's like, I'll wait for you, Steve. I'll wait for you. Don't wait too long, love.
Yeah. She waits quite a bit, actually, doesn't she?
Oh, she ends up waiting quite a lot. Damn.
Yeah. So 1 week later, they're at a small cafe at the side of the road. Two guys pull up, speak to the waitress so they can get access to the secret area below. Why did she have the gun ready? Like, do you normally just pull a gun on like people who are walking in asking for like a cherry pie or something? And then
that was it. He goes, he goes like, hey, Marge, whoever her name was, how's the pot roast today? I'm assuming that was kind of supposed to be like secret code. And then she then says something to him and he goes, I'm just going to go hang my coat up and have a wank.
Pretty much.
And then she's like, okay, I'll put the gun back down then. He used the right keywords. Why the hell would you build a secret military facility under a diner?
Yeah.
What? Just...
You know, which is next to a busy road.
Yeah.
So it's a popular diner, by the way.
I think they're just thinking, well, at least we can make a profit while we're here.
Probably.
Because
I paid for the electric bill, haven't they?
Well, yeah.
Because that's on a short meter.
Yeah, Jesus, that's been hooked up straight to the line.
It really was, mate.
They've had to pay keys.
I don't know about you as well, but if I walked into a cafe or a diner,
yeah,
and I see the waitress smoking, I won't be stopping there. I'll be back out. Bear in mind, it's like 1940s and stuff, but even still, I'm like, no, I'd rather not.
Yeah,
cigarette ash in my pie.
Especially she's got a cigarette in one hand and a Walther PPK in the other. Imagine if someone come in and said, how's the pot roast? And she goes, she answers it and they don't answer and he just gets shot. And they're like, oh shit, sorry, he was genuinely asking about the pot roast.
Yeah. Stick him in the other room again with the others.
Yeah. Down in the basement.
Pile him up. Steve Rogers now at an operation table, strapped, operation chair, so we'll say, strapped, and all the generals are having like a little meet and greet with each other, aren't they?
It looks like he's about to have a filling done.
It does. It looks like a dentist chair, to be fair.
It does.
Then one of the generals say, no one other than himself and the doctor will know his real name, as he will only be known as the code name Captain America.
Yeah, even though she's over there going, so Steve!
She's Steve Rogers, right?
Steve Rogers, are you sure you don't want to withdraw? This is your last chance.
Have you got any allergies or anything like that? Penicillin?
Just polio, love.
Just polio. Polio. Did you notice what he said as well?
What?
It's when he was talking to somebody else, because I see it on the subtitle bit. He turns around and says, he may be no Superman, but he's a living symbol of what the country stands for. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of a nod to DC.
Ah, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I never clocked onto that, because obviously, yeah. Did you notice as well when he comes in and he says, oh, Senator Kirby as well? Apparently that was a nod to Jack Kirby, the creator of Captain America.
Oh, was it?
Apparently so. But they begin the experiment on him, which, from what I can gather, just consists of flashing lights at him. Why is she stood next to him while it's happening?
Good point. Yeah, good point. I mean, when you go to a dentist and they do x-rays in your teeth, they're stood outside in the room.
Yeah.
She's like, nope, superpowers as well.
Because from what I can see, at least in like the later Marvel films, they put him in like a kind of almost like a coffin type thing, don't they, to perform on. But on this, he's just in the middle of the room on the dentist chair with like lights, and all it is a bunch of strobe lights and sparks going off. But yet she stood like as close as you are to me now, just going, it seems to be working. And he's just like, ah!
It's just lights and steroids, isn't it?
I think so.
Pretty much.
But then all you do is you just have different shots of his knee tensing.
Do you think whilst this was happening, down upstairs, like, what's happened to the lights?
The lights are flickering on and off, yeah.
Oh, they're doing an experiment again on some poor kid. You know, the guy who brought... Well, we're going to talk about this bit now, aren't we?
Yeah,
They all celebrated a little bit too early, and people sent down from Washington to observe the experiment. He goes to shake the good doctor's hand, and then lifts up last second. It's like, psych! Hail Hitler! Shoots her along with the others. Well, the guy who brought him down...
Yeah.
Because he's the one who said, like, I'll have the pie.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
The general later on.
Yeah.
Do you know how I know?
Is it scratch on the ear?
Yeah, because like when the second time I was watching, I was like, why does he keep doing this with his ear? And then in the future, later on, when you see him on the news report, he does it, doesn't he? And I'm like, oh.
But yeah.
But I love that. And he goes, because he says, oh, this is such and such, a special observer that President Roosevelt said. And he goes, oh, nice to meet you. Shoots him in the face. I'm just like, "Jeez." Yeah.
But then Steve jumps out of the chair, breaking the metal straps, just charges towards him, gets shot twice straight away.
Takes 2 bullets to the chest like a champ.
Like a champ. Punches the assassin into like a big electrical box.
Yeah.
Then the power goes off completely for upstairs.
Yep.
They're like, oh, God,
no more hot roast. And then Dr. Vaselli dies, and she's like, oh, Steve. Like, shh, Captain America. Like, Steve, you really saved my life. You saved my experiment. Good lad.
They've done this whole moment. He's holding her, she's dying.
Yeah.
And he's like getting emotional over it all. They've known each other for like 30 seconds.
Oh, I know.
It feels like there was a big scene cut or something where they're like they've been banging each other or something. Because it was like a love interest the way he was holding her.
Yeah.
It's like she just like injected you and that was it.
She's like, oh, you've redeemed me. And it's like, what? Just because his head's not turned into a testicle.
Pretty much, yeah.
But the only thing that's changed from him is that he no longer has a limp.
Yes, and a little bit more jacked up.
But even so, it's just like, all I seen was, because you get like quick snapshots to his legs, and he just looks like he's just on there tensing his leg. It's like,
and his arms.
You think they just had, them like things that you put on your belly and stuff, and they just send electrical signals to tense your muscles? I think that's all it was on that thing. It was just like a really, really low-tech version of that.
I reckon so. It was even like a polystyrene.
And that's why he was going, No, I mean, I think that's what the experiment was. I think it was nothing special. It was literally they just did that for fucking 5 hours until his muscles grew a bit.
Could have been, mate. Could have been. Well, supposedly, actually, he looked quite jacked anyway, didn't he, to be fair? No, the actor.
Yeah,
So at the start, before he had all the stuff, they put him in the baggiest clothes they could find.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. His clothes were like triple XL or something. So he was drowning in his clothes, so you couldn't see his physique.
I suppose in the modern Marvel ones, though, they turn him into like some little tiny
It's quite funny,
child, isn't it?
It's funny.
It's like a little
Chris
child
Evans' head on like a little
Chris
8-year-old.
Evans' head, yeah. It kind of looks a bit like Thingy from oh God, what's his name in that Fred Claus?
Oh, Ludacris.
Ludacris, yeah. It's kind of like that. Ludacris's head on a little person. But then they're at the hospital, then, aren't they? And they're talking outside, and they're like, "We need him to get better soon." The
We've
Nazis
got
have a
48
rocket.
hours.
Huh?
We've got 48 hours for his first mission.
Yeah, but they're like that talking to a doctor who's probably not been vetted or anything, and they're just giving away secrets like we need him better. The Nazis have a rocket base that can reach us apparently, and we need to get him to work. And they're like, the doctor's like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you telling me this? He's been shot twice. What the fuck do you want me to do?
And bear in mind, he's just had surgery.
Yeah.
He goes, he's just had surgery. He'll be lucky if he makes it out of it. Then next minute, he stood out of his bed. He was asleep 2 seconds ago. He stood out of his bed. He's like, right, where do you want to send me? Let's go.
Someone say Nazis. Yeah. But yeah.
He's stupid.
It is stupid.
It really is the way it happens. And then, with no combat training or anything...
Literally, this is the one thing I don't get about it. Why did he not give him a gun? At least all he do is to go, "Here's a shield, mate."
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Give him a pistol at least.
No, they won't. They don't give him nothing.
That's true. And he even says when he's on the plane, he's like, "So when's the rest of the guys go?" He's like, "No, rocking up and stuff because I'm on my own at the morning." Yeah, well,
About that fella.
you're on your own, mate. You're the only one out there.
Dr. Vaseline never wrote anything down. It turns out she was against pens.
You say that, but however, she has a full journal noting everything down.
Yeah. That she keeps in a drawer that no one bothered to actually check. Anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. Yes. But they're like, yeah, you're going to be the only one, kid. And he's like, oh. And she's like, but she designed you this special suit. And he's like, yeah, but it's not much camouflage, is it?
No.
Like, well, don't worry, kid. You've got a shield. I mean... Talk about being given the shitty end of the stick and thrown into the deep end. Right, we're going to drop you into a Nazi base. We're not going to give you a gun. We're going to dress you in the brightest colours we freaking can. Yep. The American flag colours, so no one mistakes you for a kind of, as one of them or anything. We don't want you,
don't want you blending in.
We don't want you blending in. We don't want you camouflage.
It's not a stealth mission.
Don't worry, we'll give you a plastic frisbee to take with you.
Yeah.
It's like... What? Oh, and by the way, you got to jump out of this plane because we ain't landing.
Have you ever done parachuting before? No. But it's all right. When you jump out, just pull the cord.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll work.
Yeah. Fingers crossed you land all right. You are a super soldier after all.
He jumps out and goes, I love you, buddy.
He does. What I don't get as well is then the guy who's with him looks out the plane and goes, "Good luck, Captain America," and he's like, "Why is his hat still on?" It's like
it's not even moved.
It's not even moved. There's no wind or nothing. And it's like, Jesus.
And then the parachute scene, it looks like it's got an action man with like a paper parachute, and it just threw it off a balcony. Just see it in the background distance.
Oh, but also. He mentioned, though, before he jumps out, that his suit is fireproof. She made a special suit that's fireproof. Wouldn't it be better being bulletproof?
Yes.
It's like, that's all well and good if they come and set me on fire, but what if they shoot me? Well, that's what the shield's for, dude.
Well, he's got a shield, mate, but throughout the film, he gets shot about 8 times.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
he's constantly getting it.
I mean, he's already been shot twice, and he'd only just finished the experiment. When then he goes to the Nazi base... Literally seen straight away. He walks up and he goes, they shine a light at him and he does actually go, he goes, looks at his shield and goes,
Genuinely, as you said, right, he lands next to this Nazi base. He gets out of his light greens from his parachuting and then he stood there in a bush, takes 2 steps from the bush and the guard's like, oh, what's that over there? What's that? Shield and bright blue uniform. Let's light him up. He just looks around and goes,
He kind of looks at yeah. I'm starting to think they don't know what they're doing here. I mean, there's easier ways to kill someone.
You got to feel for him a little bit, haven't you?
Do you think in the background they've just been like, you know what, this super soldier business, I don't think it's really right, experimenting on people. We need to kill him. No, we can't kill him. Send him into war. But he's a super soldier. Just dress him in colours.
If you got a gun.
Don't give him a gun. Right. Don't give him a gun and chuck him into Nazi-occupied territory. He won't last long. I think it's as well, right? The fucker never even thinks to pick up a gun either. The whole film.
He doesn't, does he? Oh, at the very end, I think he does, doesn't he? Or was that somebody else who picked one up?
That might be Sheriff! gun.
It might actually be. Yeah, I don't think he holds the gun, yeah. He's too wholesome.
Yeah.
Because it's a PG. Everyone else just gets shot.
Well, but luckily, though, he manages to throw his frisbee and take out a guard tower.
And the guard disappears.
Yeah.
You see the guard with his light. The shield hits it and it's just empty.
Well, it kind of reminded me of, you know, like when you used to watch like Thunderbirds back in the day and they're obviously using tiny little scale models.
Yeah.
Models. It was one of them.
It was one of them.
And they just like quickly throw a little frisbee at it. Ultimate frisbee champion 1943 is.
It's lucky it boomerangs back to him, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is.
Every single time.
How does that work?
I don't know. It just bounces off the wooden tower.
Think he even went to basic training? Do you think they just said? I think they just said, right, well,
He didn't have basic training.
That week. That week before he did the experiment, they were just like, right, we're sending you to boot camp, and they're like frisbee edition because we're in California, and it's like, why have you only teaching me how to throw shields? And it's like, well, you'll find out later, lad.
Can I shoot a gun? No.
Guns on the side, like, no, they're not for you, lad. This is for you.
Now, as all the banging's going on outside, the explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he even hits a truck later on with red barrels with a frisbee. It explodes.
Yeah. After moving the truck along as well.
That's quite a good idea, actually, isn't it? So he hides behind the truck, pushes it, but you can clearly see the two wires pulling the truck.
I didn't notice that. All I was thinking was, why don't they just shoot under the truck? Because you can clearly see his legs as he's walking along.
But you're right, though. They could have literally walked around to the back of the truck and shot him anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of standing there shooting from one bit. How come the truck did not blow up when they're shooting at it, but he throws a shield at it, it blows up?
Good shout. I don't honestly know. I don't understand what anyone's thinking in this film. Because as well, they probably would have noticed at some point, hold on, this guy's not actually shooting back. He's not armed. One go that side, and just...
Yeah,
sorted.
Straight away. But he's got a shield. Quite deadly, that shield, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You think the red barrels were Devil's Muck?
What? Yeah, Devil's Muck?
Yeah.
Oh, the
red barrel got him in the eyes.
Maybe.
Mate.
He could have enhanced himself if he had just had a quick wipe with it.
Meanwhile, inside, Red Skull.
Oh,
he's here. They've sent Captain America. How do you know his name's Captain America?
Oh, fuck knows.
How do you know it's him?
Yeah. He's like, oh, my brother is here. And it's like, he zooms in on him and he looks like a cross between Jigsaw from The Punisher and a testicle.
More of a testicle.
Then he throws what is clearly a plastic frisbee, and Red Skull just goes, cheers.
You can see it like bent and stuff.
Bend as he catches it, yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad, that one.
And then he throws it back, and for some reason, now the plastic cracks the floor.
Sticks in there.
Yeah.
Again with the sound effects every time.
Yep. And Red Skull comes down and beats the absolute shit out of him.
Yes.
Because, again, he's had no training.
Where's that needle come from?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know, because he all you do is you see like a shot of the glove, don't you? And a little needle comes out.
Was that to knock him out, you reckon? Like sedate him?
I think so, because do you think he just carries a needle around with him all the time, just in case? It's a bit odd, that.
Yeah.
Then again, the whole thing's odd.
Yeah, it is.
But while he's talking as well, he's like, oh, he's here. I wanted to brush up on my English lessons. And he's just talking a load of shit. And he's talking to his men up above going, pity him. He is like a child. And it's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, it's probably beating them all up.
Yeah. And then for some reason, Red Skull gets a needle out, sticks it in, and Steve just gets knocked out really easy.
Yeah, very quickly.
But when he wakes up, where is he?
He's strapped to a supposedly nuclear missile.
No, I don't know if it was nuclear, but
rocket.
It's definitely an intercontinental ballistic missile that they've made. And
it's a huge rocket.
It's a huge rocket, yeah.
And it shrinks.
For some reason, they've gone fully Looney Tunes and decided to stick him on a rocket. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? They probably spent years developing this rocket, getting all the weights right and everything like that, all the gyros and all that. And then at the last minute, Red Skull goes, stick him to the side of the rocket, like, but it's, we'll need to maybe counterweight the other side. I don't care. Stick him to the side of it. It's like, yeah, but it's probably not going to fly. It's no longer aerodynamic. I don't care.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then what happens as it's about to go off? It's like 10, 9, 8. He's still stood right next to him.
Yeah.
And then Captain America's going, hey. It's like, what? What are you saying? I can't hear you. What are you saying? Let me come closer. As he comes close, goes, I've got you, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Grabs his hand. And then the logic of Red Skull, instead of taking his knife, stabbing Captain America or cutting his hand off, he cuts his own hand off.
What is with that?
Well done.
Yeah, because like you say, you could have just gone, get off me, you bastard, and just got stabby. But no, he just decides,
He has 2 hands later on.
He does, yeah.
So where's the other hand come from?
Maybe it grew back, I don't know. It's never addressed, is it?
No, because... Yeah, he's got 2 hands because he uses a gun and everything later on.
Because later on, when he's at that meeting, you can see he's wearing gloves, and I'm thinking, I wonder if he's got a fake hand, like that guy or Happy Gilmore or whatever.
Yeah,
but
he's moving.
But he's moving, yeah, yeah. I don't know, hand transplant.
Yeah, something's gone on, mate, hasn't it?
But it's bloody stupid. The whole thing, like you say, where he's like, psst, "Come here, I want to tell you a secret. Shh, come here." And it's like,
what?
Yeah, and then and again he's saying to him, it's a shame because I thought you could teach me more English, and he's like, dude, I'm not here to tutor you. I'm here to fucking stop this rocket.
Which ends up being attached to as it goes off.
But as it goes up as well, obviously you've seen, just Google rocket launches, and you see the amount of exhaust gas that comes out.
Yep.
Yeah, when that goes up, Red Skull's just stood next to it, and so is pretty much everyone else in the room, like it's nothing.
Red Skull is literally touching distance from the rocket as it goes up because he's screaming because he's cut his own hand off. How is it not being vaporized?
I do not know. That's what I mean. He stood that close. The amount of exhaust fumes that would have been coming out of that rocket to actually just take off in the first place. You're not going to be stood near it.
Especially with the extra weight.
Yeah. Especially with that, they had to put extra fuel in it.
So later that night, over in Washington, D.C., some kid is stargazing and notices something up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Captain America riding a nuke.
That is just stuff. I think it was you when we watched the beginning of it together, and you were like, look at the zoom on that camera.
That zoom was... It was like the bloody telescope.
The James Webb.
That James Webb one, yeah. It was like that, zoomed right into his face. He goes, look at that over there, I'll take a picture. It's like a little speck in the distance. Yeah. But it zooms right onto his face.
And the lens he's got totally like that big. And we're talking 1943 camera technology, as well.
Yeah.
And
and I swear, when he took a picture, it was like a little click one. Like click, click.
It would have been, yeah.
A roller, what you want to call it.
It would have been, and he just, because...
Now, as it's just about to hit the ground, somehow the rocket has gone from how big it was when it left. It's now small enough. And bear in mind, Captain America was in the middle of the rocket when he was strapped. But now he's able to kick the fin with his feet.
Yeah.
So it's been flying for like 8,000 miles in the air. And it's like the last second he thinks to himself, oh, do you know what? I'll just change the direction.
That's it, because he kicks it. And I think the only reason... I think he was just going to let it explode, to be honest. It was only when he seen the kid.
Oh, as you could.
As you could, yeah.
Yeah. The slowest rocket coming down at like 30 miles per hour, if that.
Yeah. Like you say, he kicks the fin and it goes off. So he's either now going to space, or somehow he's kicked it again and now he's learned to control it just by kicking it, because he's somehow... Washington, D.C. is kind of here.
Yep.
And he's going to the White House. I don't know which direction he was coming from. But then in the next scene, he's somehow in Alaska, which is all the way up in the northwest corner above Canada. So somehow he's now over there. And rather than the rocket coming down and exploding, it just gently lands in the snow.
Gently lands. And it's pretty lucky it landed that side door and not him on the bottom.
Yeah.
But they got grinded.
I know, could you along the floor. I mean, and then for some reason he just decides, I'll just stay here and freeze.
Then it skips over to Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah.
And it's the same kid that we just seen in Washington. It's like the next day. He goes, oh, you never what happened, Sam, last night. I took all these pictures and stuff of some guy in a rocket. He had a little A on his head and he had little wings on the side of his head.
Did you see the picture he had?
That was clear.
It was literally like a picture of his head.
But it's like black, wasn't it? Yeah, black outline.
Whole head, and you could just kind of see that. It's like, there's no way he got that freaking picture. First of all, even if he could zoom in that much, it'd have probably been blurred.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was just like, there's no freaking chance.
Especially at night time.
But his friend, what is with this decoder ring, or whatever, this decoder key ring thing?
I don't know.
All the
I
way
don't pay
through it, they
attention
keep
to
going, "Oh, decoder." Because Sam, his friend, goes, "Oh, well, you had my decoder with you. That would keep you safe, wouldn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had it with me." And it's like, why? And then, but they keep mentioning it throughout the film. It's weird.
I think it's thrown like little keepsafe or something for them. It's nothing, but it's just like them, like their little club thing.
I do like how he says as well. He says, "Did he have a trident?" And he goes, "No." And he says, "Oh, so it wasn't Submariner." And he goes, "And it wasn't the Human Torch because he would have destroyed the."
Yeah.
So there are superheroes going about in this universe at the moment.
Good point, that, yeah, because I did notice that, but then I'm thinking they were just saying about comic book characters, but maybe there are actual alive and kicking superheroes.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Other than Captain A over the
Captain A.
Captain A. And then
It's quite funny, that.
we cut to a news expo.
Yep.
Of basically going through history from then, and we have JFK's died, and Martin Luther King's died, and then in between there's like little things about this guy Kimball and how he makes his way up through being he goes to war, and then he eventually becomes president.
I quite liked it, to be honest.
But now the kid is I like the way they did it, to be honest. But now they say the kid is now President Kimball is now Kimball by the narrowest margin in history.
Yep.
Well, why did we need to know that? Anyway, and then he's making a speech about how he needs to get rid of plastic manufacturing and clean up the world. And I'm like, this guy's ahead of his time.
Bloody climate propaganda straight away in the 90s.
Yeah. I thought in the early 90s it was all about the ozone. I didn't think he'd cotton on about plastics yet.
No, but he's there saying we've got to get rid of all the pesticides. There's going to be millions of people out of jobs. How much pesticide do they use over there?
Oh, no, right. I know.
Millions? Really? Millions of people going to be out of jobs. You can't use pesticide?
Yeah, and we're getting rid of plastics, so millions of people are going to be out of work, so we'll have to retrain them in something else. What, cardboard?
And then the general comes in behind the scenes and starts kicking off and panicking because they're not using plastics. Did the army use plastics?
Did he use that much freaking plastic that the general has to go to the president and go, we can't do it in your time scale? And then what does he say? So you want to make a deal? Go buy a used car.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
But plastics, though.
But then if you think about it, the whole events of this film from now on is all set in motion just because the president wants to get rid of plastic.
It is.
That is literally. And the Pentagon are like, no, we like our plastic. What are we gonna drink out of? You know, what are we gonna get our food?
That's a good point, mate. Yeah. That is a good point. The whole film is based on him not using plastics.
Basically, yeah.
Union for the pesticides are out there.
Damn it. The plastic unions. The plastic police.
Oh, do you know what it is?
What?
I think Red Skull was behind McDonald's having plastic straws.
I think he was.
Yeah, because they changed it to paper now, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Because that one turtle got it up its nose somehow.
I know.
What's
always
the odds?
one.
What is the odds of that?
I know.
No, a straw floating on the sea, and a turtle comes over, goes, "So there's a line of cocaine over there."
I was going to say, no one speaks about the turtles using it to snort cocaine. It's all just about what like they're using plastic. They can't use plastic to snort cocaine.
Do you know how big a turtle's nose is?
I've never measured it. But...
It's literally like you're feeding a thread through a needle from 6 foot away or something. That's the odds of you getting like a straw into a turtle's nose.
Yeah, to be fair, survival of the fittest. If that turtle's stupid enough to stick a fucking straw up its nose, maybe it deserves to just not be on this earth anymore.
Exactly. Now I've got to suffer every time I go to McDonald's with a paper straw trying to drink a milkshake.
Trying to drink your vanilla milkshake with one of them. By the time you got halfway through it, it's just,
it's destroyed.
Yeah.
I've got a spoon and like eating it.
Basically. Back in my day, they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not turtles snorting coke off with straws.
It could have been one of them.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Reckon Donatello's just like, no more straws. Look what they did to Raphael.
Raphael's on the floor like, someone knocked me head. Someone knocked me head. It's stuck up there. Over at Red Skull, anyway, he's live and kicking over in Italy with a new face. It's been patched up a little bit. So, like you say, it looks a little bit more like Jigsaw from Daredevil, doesn't it?
Yeah, he looks like a Jigsaw if he was slightly embarrassed because he's got that red tinge. And like you say, he's got, like we said before, somehow he's got a new hand. But he's meeting with the general and they're basically moaning about the president. How dare he get rid of them plastics? I love my fucking straws. Fuck them turtles. And Red Skull's like, it's okay. We will get rid of him. And then it's kind of hinted at this point that they killed JFK.
Yeah. And several other presidents throughout time.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King as well.
Because they were like, do you know how much it cost to, we took 3 years to find Oswald and all stuff like that. And then the general's like, let's just fucking get him. He's like, no, it's too expensive. It cost $22 million last time.
So what's the plan instead?
How much the bullets cost?
They're quite a bit, I suppose.
Jesus Christ.
So what's the plan they go with?
Red Skull goes, I've invented a brain implant that we can use on the president and we can control him.
It's not even a proper brain implant. It's like an injection.
I know, but it's like, guys, take a step back. All this because of freaking plastics.
Overreacting much.
No, right? Jesus Christ! Do you think the general's just got shares in plastic or something? I think
so.
It's got to be something. The
But
lobbyists.
This little layer they're in, it just looks like a stereotypical one. It's like a huge table.
Yeah.
And there's like 12 of them sat around, and then Red Skull's in the middle.
On villain much?
Much. I was expecting a little skinless cat.
I was just going to say, if he just turns around like...
His little rat inside out. He turns around and is like, yes, my precious.
This is Red Rocket.
Yeah. That was Red Rocket before Rocket came along in the...
He's a very intelligent rat. Very strong as well.
He's strong.
very, very, very strong.
Do you want to see how strong he is? I've got a little gym set up for him.
Yes.
Look at him do his bench presses.
Come on, Red Rocket, show him what you can do. The rat's just got a sweatband on. Oh, Jesus.
In his spare time over the weekend, we save him over to Austria. And he actually trains up some young lad called Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes.
He's his personal trainer.
They take the steroids together.
Yes. He's very intelligent.
Oh, yes.
So over at Alaska now, two backpackers stumble across Captain America frozen in an ice block.
Well, they're actually West German scientists who, for some reason, have a research base in Alaska.
As you do.
As you do.
No, during the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's later on now.
It's after now. Yeah, it's later now.
Yeah. But they find Steve's frozen hand sticking out.
Why is his hand sticking out? And why is he in like a perfectly square ice cube?
I don't know.
And where did the rocket go?
Exactly. Where the fuck did the rocket go?
Where did it go?
Surely they'd be, we found this guy. Oh, shit, what's he attached to here? We need to get the fucking bomb squad in. But no, they're just like, just take the guy, forget the rocket.
Ah.
What?
It was a paper rocket.
Ah.
So it was biodegradable because it wasn't plastic.
Ah.
That's why they're stressing. Because the general's got plastic rockets to send out.
Right.
They're not biodegradable, are they? You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Not good for the planet.
Yeah.
That's it. They're thinking ahead, you see.
Yeah.
They've got like electric tanks trying to take over other countries. What, just break down because they ran out of charge.
Yeah. No charging point. Get the extra batteries.
Oh no, quick. They've got the Americans are coming over with their EV tanks. Just get out of the way. It's all right, just travel 25 miles, it'll run out of energy.
Slowly walk in front of it. Just
slowly going by. Look, I've got a good old Panzer.
Oh, yeah. But seriously, though, where was the rocket?
I don't know. But as this ice starts to
the
melt...
The motherfucker was literally attached to it.
Oh, yeah, attached to it.
Yeah, somehow they get him out of the ice.
And it's got a shield in his hand.
Yeah.
He didn't go up with his shield.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did he actually... That is a good point, because did he give him the shield when he was on the rocket? He didn't,
no, they didn't have it.
No. Surely Red Skull should have the shield.
He's like, oh, by the way, brother, you took my hand, here's your shield.
Yeah. Just as he's taking off. Oh, forgot, catch it.
He actually genuinely did not have it, because when he was kicking the rocket as well,
he
didn't have it there. But then it breaks out this ice somehow and just walks off.
Yeah. He just gets up like that, right? Thanks, guys. Thanks for digging me out.
And the guy took a picture of him just as he was walking out.
Oh, yeah. It was a good picture as well.
And that was straight onto the newspaper front page everywhere.
Did no one think to just, I don't know, go after him?
A little bit of a question as well. Obviously, this film is, not exactly believable. But,
Which part?
Right. But I'm going to dig into a bit of depth here.
Right, go on.
So, what year we're talking this now?
Talk to me, brother.
Is it like 80s, 90s, and it's based
1990. Yeah.
So is it set in 1990?
I think so.
Right. So it's around the era.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, in the middle of Alaska, in the middle of nowhere, have they got anywhere to produce these or develop the film that was just taken?
So
if not, This guy has got to go from Alaska, travel back to Germany, get the pictures developed at Max Spielman, then send it off to the news press, and then the news press have got to contact the other people to make sure it goes globally at the exact same time in every single country with the front newspaper.
That's a good shout, yeah. Because even if they did have a way of developing the photos there and then,
How did it get all the press straight away?
Yeah, how did you get it to the press? And how is it that even though Alaska's part of America, and you'd think that this would maybe have had some military involvement because finding a random guy in the ice suit suddenly stood up, yet the president finds out from a newspaper?
That's where he gets all his sources from.
Must be. But no, it's...
Something doesn't add up with this film.
It really doesn't. But the fact, again, that it makes you wonder, right? Do you think he was just literally chilling in that ice just for the fun of it? Because all they do is they put him on a table and then 2 minutes later he stood up and just brushes it off and just goes, right, cheers, chaps. But from his point of view, though, it must be weird because he wakes up and because they're all West German, he wakes up and he's surrounded by German accents. So I'm surprised he just didn't start throwing his frisbee at them all. Just starts twatting them all. Just kills them all, yeah. Well, I thought they were German. The White House and the president's reading the paper.
Yeah. Kimball immediately phones his childhood friend, tells him about the discovery up in Alaska, because it's on the newspaper.
Yep.
And it turns out Sam has been following all the conspiracies about Captain America and Red Skull over the years.
Yep.
And also, President Kimball, why has he got a picture of him in his wallet?
He carries it everywhere with him.
Everywhere. He doesn't have a picture of his kids and his wife.
No,
Captain America from when he was a kid.
I'm surprised he hasn't had it tattooed on him at some point. Just been like, do me a favour, just tattoo this onto me chest there, just in case.
I reckon he has.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably has it on his ass, doesn't he? But yeah, it's like he literally rings his mates because Sam now works. We find out later that he's like one of them. Was it a Pulitzer Prize winner journalist or something? Yeah. And it's like, so the president rings his mate, who's a journalist, to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, you're the president. Surely you've got higher up people to ring to find out what's going on than your
FBI.
mate. That's what I mean. Like, surely the president should have been briefed on this already. Look what we found in American territory.
Mm-hmm.
Not reading it from the front of the freaking newspaper.
Yeah.
And he's like you say, Sam's like, oh, we've been maybe it's linked to this Red Skull conspiracy theory that we've got. And do you think the president's like, yeah, I know all about that, but I can't talk about it because of confidentiality?
Probably, yeah.
Because surely the president just be like, I'll get the CIA on it rather than just me mate who's a reporter.
No, he doesn't know. No, he doesn't like phone any of the police or any of his departments. No. Straight to news reporter. Yeah, strange.
Yeah, so we're in Rome next, and so it turns out that Red Skull has had sex with someone.
Yeah,
somehow.
Pretty fit daughter.
I know. Well,
she's all right.
She's all right, yeah, considering the dad.
She came out a little bit red.
You'd think she would, but no.
It's a devil.
It's a red devil. Look at the horns.
Look at her.
But yeah, so it turns out for some reason they have the schedule for the president, and then he's checking the newspaper and he sees our Steve, and he's like, "Oh, that's that guy from 70 years ago that tried to throw a frisbee at me that time, and I strapped him to a rocket. How is he still alive? Jesus,
still looking the same age."
So he says,
"A bit like him."
Yeah. So he's like, so he says to his daughter, "Do us a favor, take care of this guy for me." She's like, "All right then."
What happens?
As you do.
Smash cut to 2 helicopters in Canada going, oh, there he is down there.
Yeah. So somehow Steve's managed to walk from Alaska to Canada even though he doesn't know where he is.
Bullshit.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's in the middle of a woods, yet 2 helicopters fly over, and they're like, oh, there he is. Because he's not camouflaged in the fucking slightest.
There's a guy in a blue suit running around with a shield.
That's all.
And how did Sam find him at the exact same time on the same road where 2 helicopters are flying around and fly right down above the car where Sam is? Where I thought they would go pick Sam's car up.
Yeah.
It was like really, really close.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know how they found him because it's not like, how? Just, I don't know the logistics of how they did it at all.
No. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. It's amazing.
Smash cuts.
Literally, the guy was last seen in Alaska, and now they just happen to be randomly driving through Canada, and there he is. That uniform must be brighter in person than we thought. Because he can probably be seen from space. They're probably looking at the satellites.
Bear in mind, he was in a dense forest.
Yeah, he was as well, yeah.
It wasn't in an open field.
No, he
or
wasn't.
on the white snow.
No, he wasn't. He was in a dense forest, and that's how bad the camouflage was. That's why the Nazis seen him straight away before. Because he can be seen from the air and the ground in the middle of a forest.
Again, with Sam driving on the road
Yep.
100 yards away from him.
And then they think, oh, let's land the choppers because we brought dirt bikes with us just in case.
Bear in mind, right, these choppers weren't big enough to have any cargo. Never mind, because you see inside the helicopter, and they sat there like 3 people abreast and then 3 across the other way. So like 6 people in there.
Yep.
Shoulder to shoulder cramped up. And like you say, next minute, they're revving up motorbikes, little dirt bikes, and start riding off into the woods. She got 4 of them now on bikes. Quite a good little scene as they're doing a bit of off-roading on the bikes.
Yeah, you're getting very quick cuts between Steve running through the woods, them on the bike, Steve running through the woods, and then he runs into an opening, and one of the bike comes out, and he's just like, oh, frisbee time.
Where did the other 3 go?
I don't know. Why is it as well, like, I was going to mention it later on, but why is it that all the people who kind of work for Red Skull's daughter or alongside her, why do they all look like some kind of Italian models?
They are, mate. Do you know what they're called?
Go on.
The Gucci gang.
The Gucci gang. They do look like that.
Yeah.
They do. They just...
That's why I've called them the Gucci, gang all the way through. Because like you say, they are literally Italian fashion models. Every single one of them. Can't act for shit.
No.
But good looking. Even the guys are handsome looking. Do you know what I mean? I was like, credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They all look like swimsuit models. Every single one of them.
They do. And it's like...
It's weird.
Oh, just Italians for you, innit?
And here's one for you.
One.
Steve with a shield. He can throw a shield that powerful, it can smash a watchtower down. Just breaks it into pieces. We've seen it sticking into thick concrete.
Yep.
But yeah, it hits her on her head and she just gets up.
Helmets, mate. So she gets up and starts shooting at him, just as Sam pulls up at the nick of time, says, get in the car!
Get in the car, quick.
Get in the car!
I love this bit. I love it.
She's shooting at the car, but the shots don't match the sounds, if you notice that.
Yep.
And then we have the car ride.
It's so good. I love it. This whole car ride. So Sam's explained to Steve, he's looking to her, he's going, right, the Nazis have been looking for you. Red Skull's still alive. I know about these conspiracies. Everybody's trying to get you.
Yeah.
Steve's response is, well, there was an English spy that I seen on a film where the enemy tried to convince him that something was happening, but they were betraying him. He's looking around the car and it's like made in West Germany, the car. He looks at his radio, made in Japan.
Oh, his little tape recorder thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's like going, oh. Sam, can you pull over, please? I feel like I've got a little bit sick. I feel like I've got car sickness. So Sam pulls over, bless him. Steve gets out, pretends to be sick, and as soon as Sam comes around to help him, he runs off, he jumps in the car, drives off. They even poor Sam behind in the middle of Canada, in the middle of nowhere, with no coat, no food, no drink. It's like, see you in a bit, mate. Drives off in his car.
I know. It's a good little trick, though. Good way of getting the car off him, isn't it?
It's not once it does it, though, is it?
It's really not. No. But while he's driving off, he finds the map and that, and he goes, "Oh, I'm in Canada."
Did you notice when he was driving, he had the map in front of him?
Yeah.
Over the steering wheel, like, look, the window, you can't see where you're going.
It's one of his powers, isn't it? He can see through maps.
Yeah, see through paper.
So then
it's not plastic.
So then we have a bit of a montage as Steve abandons the car because he's run out of gas. And then he sneaks into the back of a HGV.
He happens to have a big trench coat in the back of the car, as well as a little bag for his shield.
Good shout.
Where did they come from?
Must have been Sam's.
But, and then this is the worst montage as he's walking around his old town when he arrives there. Because it's in the classics, right? It's the classic 90s, what they used to do with the music, what's playing, describes what's happening on the film.
That's what I was about to say. Memories of you, girl. While he sat in the back of the truck having wet dreams over Bernie.
And then he's walking around. It's like, I remember the street where you used to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's the song singing in the background.
And then I turn this corner and it's all changed.
Then you
And
go
now
to the
I
beach.
go down and tie my shoelace. And I really need a shit now. Where's the public toilet?
Don't have them anymore.
No. But he goes down to the beach and there's still a thing there that says Steve loves Bernie.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of punks come over and ask him for the ciggy.
So he runs off.
This is all during the same montage.
Yeah.
He runs off and ogles a bird in a bikini.
Gets scared and runs for his life.
Yeah. So then he runs to Bernie's house, even though his whole family live like 3 doors down that we seen in the beginning. He doesn't bother going looking for his family. All he's like is like, it's like, Bernie promised me some head when I get back. I need to go and get this.
That's a good point. You don't go to visit his old family.
That's about his family. They gave him a nice leaving, doing everything, his mum and that. And like I say, his mum only lived like a couple of doors down in the beginning. And he's just like, yeah, fuck that, I'm going for my pussy.
What's the Bernies?
Yeah.
And
So
then
the next thing I've called Weekend at Bernie's. So
yeah, she's been living in the same house for 40 years with her own family and everything.
So Sharon pulls up outside and Steve's like, Bernie! And then she somehow twats the shit out of Captain America. What the fuck's that about?
With a 6-pack of beer. Yeah. With one hand. Laws him.
Floors him. And then Bernie comes out and Bernie's all old and she suddenly starts gushing. She'd been dried up until this point and all of a sudden it's like a waterfall coming out. And she's like, oh, Steve.
I feel for her husband.
Yeah, because the dad comes out like Johnny Big Balls, Sonny like, I'll take care of this. His pants are like up to his nipples. And she's like, no, it's Steve, the one I told you about. Poor old Jack, I do feel sorry for Jack.
Yeah, literally, Jack, right? He sat there in the same room on a chair.
Yeah.
And she's going, oh, Steve, I've been waiting for you. I waited for you forever. Oh, I can still give you a head if you want.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, what?
I'll just take the falsies out. But she's like they're in the kitchen, aren't they? And she's like, yeah. So they told me you were missing in action, and I knew you were alive, and I waited for you. But then I got to 38, and Jack wouldn't leave me alone, and I really wanted a kid. So I was like, sorry, I'm going to have sex with him. But we only had sex once, I promise, Steve. Just once to have our Sharon.
Sharon. Why didn't they not discuss the fact that it's not aged?
I don't know. No,
they just glossed over it.
The other thing as well is, whose clothes is he wearing? Because he's not in his uniform anymore.
Good
and
point.
I'm like, so not only has she brought her ex-lover, who she waited 16 years for till she was 38 and settled for Jack, into the house, she's also given him his clothes, and they're in the kitchen talking about old times, and she's still offering him some head. And I'm just like, poor old Jack.
Poor Jack.
Yeah.
Red Skull intercepts a call from Sam.
Yeah.
Why?
And the president, somehow.
Why is he got Sam's phone rigged?
I don't know. Just on the off chance. And then
The daughter goes, this is that reporter.
Yeah.
He knows everything about him.
Yeah.
What?
He's like, I think Sam can lead us to Captain America. And he's like, you let him get away. It's like, yes, he's a pissing super soldier. And you sent your daughter after him.
Yeah, true.
It's like, what the hell?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
So now, somehow, we're now at the Washington Dispatch newspaper, and Sam somehow now has old files from the experiment, and then he finds a letter addressed to Steve Rogers. And he's like, oh, it's Steve Rogers. Oh, he's wrote a letter to his missus.
Bernie.
So he calls the president, and like you say, the Red Skull Gang, and then they're like, the Red Skull Gang are at the pool just chilling. And they overhear and they're like, call the jet, Captain America's in California. Next thing is, smash cut, jet flying through the sky. I'm like, Jesus, that was quick. Yeah.
And they look bored shitless.
God, they look bored. It's like a bunch of models just sat on the plane like...
There's one of them reading a magazine, looking fed up. One's picking the nails. And they've all just sat there having a cigarette. It's like, yeah, this is exciting.
Like, you're on a private jet, guys. Enjoy it. So next thing is, Sharon's bunking up with Steve. Again, now he's changed his clothes again. He's wearing a different set of clothes, and I'm like, poor Jack.
Poor Jack.
Poor Jack. But then she just happens to have a videotape of like the last 70 years of history, just in case it ever comes in handy.
Oh, everybody has that because last time he's seen something like that, they never came in a little black box.
Oh no, they never.
He couldn't rent them from the library.
And he's like, and it's only at this point that he's looking through Sam's book and he goes, "It's all true." What fucking gave it away, mate? The fact that your missus is now 70 years older, that everything's pissing changed. I mean, and it's only now that she sticks a videotape in of Martin Luther King and they're like, a black man on telly. Oh, it's changed since my day. Jesus Christ, man. I finally believe it. And then he's like, we need to find the diary of Dr. Vaseline. And then Sharon gets a call because there's been a visit to the house.
Oh, yeah. So they get a little knock on the door. Sam's there.
Yeah.
Jack, he's ready for a fight straight away.
Jack's like, well, I need to get on my chat. All these fucking visitors. No one's visited in fucking 40 years. And now he rocked up.
Sam gets shot in the back as he's trying to explain the situation. The poor Jack gets shot. And then it cuts back to Sharon and Captain.
I feel sorry for Jack.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so far in the last 2 days, his missus' ex-lover from like 70 years ago has turned up looking young and youthful as fuck.
Yeah.
She just sucked him off in the kitchen, gave him his clothes out his own wardrobe.
Yeah.
And now all he wants to do is sit there watching Wheel of Fortune and he gets shot.
Wow, so his daughter's now banging him.
Yeah. Well, he's now moved on to the daughter, yeah. And it's so then they arrive.
Yep.
And the dad's like being wheeled off on an ambulance and the daughter comes and she goes, Bernie didn't give any of the information away. And they're like, she's like, why, what's happened to mum? And he's like, I'm going to fake a heart attack now. He's coding.
Sam just dies there and then.
And then Sam goes, when you see the president, give him this decoder. And Steve's like, all right then.
And then dies.
And then dies.
Classic, and where they wait on until they got to give all the information off, they go, dead.
Yeah.
Did you hear what the paramedic said?
What?
When Sharon said, "Oh, my dad, how is he?" It's all right. It's just a minor shot wound to the chest. What?
Just a minor gunshot wound.
Yeah, because a shot in the chest is just a minor. Is it?
Maybe they got cut off through emotions, and I think they were about to say he's okay. He just got a minor shot to the chest, whereas your mum got shot in the face.
Tortured.
Well, yeah. Rather than the paramedics helping Sam, Steve stops them in their tracks and says, "Whoa! Captain America here. Here's my ID. I need to talk to this man." And he's like, "Decoder, give it to the president." And like, yeah, we really need to be getting this guy to us. Oh, he's dead.
We had 3 seconds. That's all we had.
But then Sharon runs into the house and starts trying to hump her mum for some reason.
Oh, you should just see her getting zipped up in her body bag, don't you?
She's like, "Oh, mum." And it's like, hold on. As far as Darren tells me, you are your mum.
That's why I couldn't see the face when next to each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
The next thing is, we're in the hospital with our Jack.
Yep.
Steve and Sharon are looking after him, and Steve's probably the last person he wants to piss and see at the moment. She puts the telly on for him, Wheel of Fortune, and a special report comes on.
Good timing.
I know.
Good timing.
The president somehow has been kidnapped. Because of course he has. Over plastics.
Over plastics.
And then Steve suddenly, IQ of 9,000, suddenly goes, it's the same people that came to the house. How do you know? How do you know it's the same people that came to the house? Oh. But then that's when you see the general, instead of looking for him, decides to appear on TV saying, we need to stay calm and work together on this. And then he starts touching his ear like the guy from the beginning.
Yep, that's it. Gives it away.
And it's like, General, haven't you got something better to do than being on the news? Can't you send, like, I don't know, one of your representatives from, like, the White House? Why are you there?
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to go on there because everyone's going to think it's me. It's definitely not me. I've got no involvement in this. Plastics? Who said plastics?
Shipment of plastics coming in. Do you want a sign for this? No,
sir, your plastics. Get the fuck away from me.
Get away.
But then she kisses her dad goodbye, and that's the last we see of him.
So he's dead.
Yeah.
That's what I take from it. Steve drives Sharon to an old diner. How does he know where it is anyway? Would he not have like a bag on his head because it's secret?
You'd think so.
It's a secret site or anything like that. But no, he knows exactly where it is. 70 years later, the road's not changed that much. Diner's still there.
Yeah.
But however, it's changed a little bit now. So instead of ordering a hot pot, you got to go into the toilets.
Yeah.
The girls' toilets.
Sharon starts freaking the fuck out, though, that he goes into the loos. She's like, Steve, no! Don't go into there! That's private! I see tampons! And he's like grabbing her like, Sharon, calm down!
Bearing in mind, at this point, the diner's pretty busy.
Yeah.
You can see it's quite a popular diner now.
It's very popular, yeah.
Yep. Women are running out of the toilets, screaming.
Yeah.
There's banging inside there. Would nobody go and check what's going on? Why is there a crazy guy smashing a wall in the girls' toilets?
I know. Thing is, right, when they remodeled that diner, no one seemed to think, hold on, we'll just put this fake wall in here to conceal the hidden lab below it.
I mean, like, when you put up a false wall, why would you, like, keep the coat hanger there as well? Wouldn't you remove that?
Exactly. Exactly. Because he pulls on the things and the door opens and it's all still intact and working.
Oh, everything still works.
Yeah. And then they go down and he goes, right, the diary must be here. First drawer he looks in. Oh, look, there's a diary.
Very first drawer.
How the frick did no one notice that before?
They cleared out everything.
They did.
Left
Except
that
for
one
the
drawer.
dentist chair.
Yeah, just left that one drawer, didn't they?
Yeah. They were just like, oh. Can anyone read Italian? They're like, no. It's like, I'll just leave it here then. Oh, jeez.
That is true, mate. Now, Steve and Sharon managed to do a little bit of a rope-a-dope, don't they? Because they see somebody coming down the stairs, so they hide underneath the stairs. They walk down, and then they run upstairs.
Oh, yeah, the Gucci crew come in. Did you notice that one of them, though, had a very similar resemblance to the bad guy from Samurai Cop? The gang leader. He had, like, it was like a Chinese guy with Japanese guy or something with a mullet.
Oh, you see the one who gave us the expo dump about what was happening?
Yeah.
Because he grabs her and says, the diary, we're here for that. I'm working for Red Skull.
Yeah.
Just in case we didn't know.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know where Red Skull is. I work for his daughter. I'm part of the Gucci squad. Can you not tell? And does that, what's that, Blue Steel or something?
This is one of the worst fights I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You can't see what's going on. The room, what they're fighting in, is pitch black.
Yeah.
So all you can hear is like the old 1970s Batman where you go pow, kick, whoosh, push, and all that stuff. You can't see what's going on.
Well, at first, I didn't realise because they, like you say, they hide under the stairs. The goons come in and as they run out, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like someone's got Sharon on the stairs and there's like three guys there, all in point blank range of Steve, and they've got Sharon. And I was just like, hold on, what the hell's just happened here? And
the room has gone massive.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new corridor and a whole new boiler room and everything.
Yeah. It's like the boiler room from bloody Maximum Conviction.
Yeah.
And then they're fighting, and then like Steve's being shot at, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I've not got my frisbee." So what does he do? He pulls like a door off a steam vent. And it's like, "Oh, I've got a shield now," and then all of a sudden he's back to being Captain America, throwing this thing about everywhere.
Don't pick up a gun.
Doesn't pick up a gun.
Don't pick up a gun.
He takes out at least two guys before he gets to that bad guy at the end, the boss, and like doesn't bother to just say, "Oh, thanks for the handgun," because he's never been trained in it.
No.
He might use it the wrong way and end up shooting himself.
True. There's one guy, though, it gets pushed down to the air vents.
Yeah.
He gets pushed down now. How deep was that vent?
Can you just say, ah!
For about 20 seconds. How deep is that?
I don't know.
The underground as it is.
I know. I was wondering that because he does scream for ages. I think he'd already hit the deck and he's just like, ah!
Just folded up inside.
Yeah. Just like in the fetal position, just like, oh. Yeah, and then he has a fight with the guy from Samurai Cop, the bad guy.
Yep.
And he's like, huh, I want his head on my piano. Anyway, so then Steve somehow beats him, even though he's like, this guy obviously knows martial arts and Steve knows the art of origami or something.
Bullshitido.
Yeah, bullshitido. So
Yep, that's the one,
he
mate.
Steven Seagal's his way out of there, manages to grab him and he goes, I work for Red Skull's daughter. And he's like, hold on, Red Skull's daughter exists? Red Skull had sex? I've not even had sex.
You don't see the wife?
No, you don't.
Oh, the mum, I should say.
It's probably a hooker.
Yeah, true. Adopted. Yeah.
Maybe. And then they leave the diner and as they're walking through, they walk out and two women just go, ah! Start screaming and you're like, all right, chill out. And then they start reading the diary, and now somehow Darren can read Italian.
Yeah, just reads it out,
Yeah.
and happens to have the birthplace of where Red Skull was. Why? Right? Why what does it matter, right, where Red Skull is from? What does it matter of his childhood or anything? They're trying to get the president, and they're trying to stop Red Skull. Why did they need to know where he came from or anything?
Yeah, they're like, they kidnapped the kid from this town in 1936 or whatever. So? It's like, don't mean he's going to be there now, is it?
But that's me. That's the storyline.
That was like 70 years ago.
This whole storyline is about plastics.
Yeah.
And finding out where some kid was born.
Basically.
Even though he's not living there or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Go on, mate. So after a quick bang, Sharon and Steve are now in Italy with a new car. How did Steve get there with no passport?
I've got that, yeah. How the hell did he leave the country without a passport?
Where does he get a new car from?
Don't know.
It was a brand new car.
I don't know. How the hell did they do it? But
and it's got a new purse for his shield.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of unanswered questions there.
There is. But there's one answered question.
Go on.
That is about to come upon us. Car sick.
Yeah. So he pulls the whole car sick thing again, and he gets out, and then he robs the car. And then I love how, like, when he drives off, she goes, taxi! Like she's in the middle of New York City, not in some Italian little village.
Nope. He left her in a foreign country with no money.
Yeah.
It's like, go on, crack on, love.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll be fine.
She's like, I can't take you with you, it won't be safe. What, you think it's going to be safe here? Like in the middle of Italy with no, with no money or anything. Just leave me. Why did you bother bringing her with you?
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
But then we cut to the president, and Red Skull's now injecting him with chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And conveniently, they need 24 hours before it can work, before they can put the implant in for some reason.
Convenient, yeah. Yep.
So Red Skull wants to control him, but then he says, oh, they'll come and find me. And he's like, oh, what? Because of the transmitter you got in your tooth? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you took me tooth? I'm not being funny. If I go to the dentist or anything changes in my mouth, I can't stop touching it with my tongue, and I notice straight away. So surely would notice that he took a pissing molar out of his mouth.
Yeah.
You'd think that.
But also, Red Skull says to him, like, he points as if he's had his own molar removed.
Yeah.
It's really weird, isn't it, the way he does it?
Yeah, and then he goes, next time get the Japanese to do it or something. I don't really get that. But anyway, and then as they taking the president away, he grabs a little vial of something, and she's like some kind of acid or something.
Yep. Just leaving acid on the side.
Yeah, because he goes back and he starts using the vial to on the bars of his of his prison cell.
That would lock.
Yeah.
We'll get so then we have as well.
Detective Steve-O. So he arrives at the Italian town and starts looking about.
Yeah, so this family got murdered
when
Red Skull was a kid. Everybody got killed, it was there. But then the new owners move in and just keep everything in a box.
The house, they said, in the subtitles, was destroyed.
Yep.
And they kept, why would you keep an old 70-year-old tape recorder and a load of other crap that you found in the rubble of the house? Yep. That would have been going straight into the skip.
Yes.
Yeah. But luckily, they say, do you know any repairmen in town? And they take it to see the repairmen with the old recorder.
What a great repair guy this is. So all he does is goes, play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he does.
Look at that repaired.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I've not seen one of these in 70 years. Play. And then we get the recording from the beginning of Red Skull's family being brutally murdered.
Yep.
And they're like, and all of a sudden they're like, that must be Red Skull's family. It's like, that's a bit of a jump. You're listening to some kid playing piano, and all of a sudden a load of people come in and start shooting.
Yep.
Like,
very big jump, really is.
And Sharon records it on her little tape player that she conveniently has.
The quality is unreal.
Oh, no.
No, recording it from a 70-year-old recorder.
Yeah.
So it's a recording, then recorded again using a Walkman.
Basically, yeah.
Crystal clear HD quality.
Oh, yeah. Because later on, like, he uses it to play to Red Skull, and Red Skull's like half a mile away from him. And somehow
is it
can
perfect?
Hear it. Yeah.
Is it perfect?
Oh, this is one of my favourite bits, though, when they're at the cafe.
While they're out for lunch.
Yeah.
And the Gucci gang turn up.
Yeah. So they're at the cafe, and Steve's talking to Sharon and saying, why don't we just look him up in the phone book? And she's like, why don't we just put an ad in the newspaper, you dickhead? Are you mad? And then two women arrive, and for some reason, one of them bumps into Sharon and goes,
oh, They have a little stare off, don't
They have a little stare off. And then they sit down, these two women. Sharon's kind of staring at them as like, fucking Italian bitch. And then they slow as hell, and I mean literally like this slow, they go into the purses, they pull out guns, and they go...
Why did they do it so slow?
I don't know. Because even slow enough that Sharon goes, oh no, a gun, and Steve looks in the window of the cafe and goes, guns! And they're literally like next table along this close, and then somehow manage to miss Steve, and Steve kind of dives on them.
He picks up a table and charges them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And then they run off, and then somehow Sharon and Steve outrun a Porsche 911.
Because this Porsche 911 was driving 5 miles per hour. And as they were running down, there was 2 kids playing in the middle of the road with a ball, like sat on their ass with the legs, like the feet touching each other and passing the ball out there between each other.
Yeah.
Steve runs over, breaks the kid's necks as he picks them up with that aggressively.
Chucks them out the way.
Kids are now disabled. It's like, cheers, mum. Yeah, here's your kids.
And then somehow the guy driving the Porsche then crashes it.
Well, they were meant to crash, but I don't think they had the budget for the repairs of the Porsche. So the Porsche stopped just short of the wall. You see it stopped just short, but the guy inside acts as if it's crashed.
Yeah, they make like a crash noise, don't they?
Yeah,
and
he just drops forward and everything. But you can see on the shot that you just shown us, it's like 2 foot away from the wall. And then a motorbike comes up, starts chasing them. As they do.
Well, Steve yeets over the car, doesn't he, and kicks the guy. Again, doesn't take the gun. Just runs off. Yeah. The motorbike guy comes, and now they outrun a pissing motorbike.
And what Steve do when the bike catches up? Plays a bit of chicken with him. Stands over his shield, gets run over by it. And when he flips up in the air and lands on his ass, I don't know if that was...
I was wondering whether...
That look... Because as Steve lands... You see it in the actor's face, like, that hurt.
Yeah, and
like,
the noise he makes as
on
well.
The wall or something on the floor.
Like, the noise he makes as well is like, And I'm thinking, all right.
That looks a little bit too legit.
Yeah.
He's not a good actor.
No, he's not
that good of an actor. He sold the shit out of that ball.
I know.
So I think that was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was as well, because, like, looking at it, the way he lands and the noise he makes, I was thinking, why did that hurt him if he's Captain America? But I'm thinking, maybe it's the actor actually being hurt there and they just left it in.
Yeah, I think so.
It did look painful.
But then the bike comes at him, he gets his shield, throws the shield at the front of the bike, not hitting the driver or anything. So they're in quite an open area.
Yeah.
The bike's coming towards him. He knocks the biker off the bike. The biker gets catapulted towards Steve, but ends up in one of the houses, 90-degree angle to where they are.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know, because there's just a family there eating dinner and he comes smashing through the window and I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah. Maybe Steve just went, no, and just kind of slapped him out of the way.
Swatted him.
Yeah, swatted him out of the way through the window.
Because, like I said, there was no houses near him.
No.
So how did he go through a window?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I do wish I knew. But then Steve runs along and sees a couple of kids with a push bike, throws a handful of cash at them and takes the bike. And now they're driving off like the fucking ET or something. They've got her on the handlebars. And I was half expecting it to fly across the moon.
Whilst getting shot at.
Yeah.
And then the bike's got no brakes.
Yeah.
So it goes off the cliff.
Did you see it when they went off the cliff, though?
Yeah, I slowed it down.
Yeah.
You can see people running next to the bike and then jumping off.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you're a stuntman, you better ride the bike off. If the stuntman's like, no, I'm not doing that.
They're just like, action, run, in the water.
It's all right, we'll speed up a little bit. Don't worry, no one will ever find out.
But then they're underwater, and then the Gucci squad arrive, and they're just like, they've not appeared yet. Yeah, fuck waiting for that. Let's just go.
Just wait 10 seconds.
I know.
Just wait 10 seconds. That's all you had to do.
And then they go back to the cafe, and the waiters and stuff are clearing up, and the police are there and what have you. And Sharon just casually walks up and goes, "Oh, my bag, I've been looking for that. Oh, thank you so much." Goes round the corner, takes the purse out the bag, and for some reason, Red Skull's daughter, going on an assassination mission, decides to not only take her own purse, but also have her ID in there with the address and everything of the fucking layer that they're in and all this shit. And it's like, why would you do that? Why would you take your ID with you?
Yeah, just take your passport. You never know.
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ.
No, also has a picture of her dad.
Yeah, he has a picture of her dad, yeah. Because they go back to the car and he's like, oh, that's him there. That's Red Skull.
How? How does he know him?
I don't know.
He looked like a human testicle last time he's seen him.
Yeah. And now he's had a lot of pissing work done and it's 70 years later and he somehow recognises him.
Yeah, as you do.
Like
as
if you squint your eyes and just imagine this guy's red because I think it's a black and white photo.
Yep.
Like I think that's him.
Yep.
But and then they're like, oh, I think the island that they're at's only down the road. Should we go check it out? I've always wanted to save the president. Why not just call it in? Why not just ring up and just say, look, we think we found the president.
True.
We've somehow got to Italy and we don't know how we got here because Steve doesn't have a passport. But yeah, do you mind just like sending Delta Force or something? We think we
just send them down. It'll be all right.
Tipping, yeah.
Save the day.
But then as they drive off, one of the Gucci squad gets on his phone and basically calls in that they've just seen Steve and his missus drive off. And then we have a little, would you call it a car chase?
Not really, no. Because as they're driving down these like little roads, it's like a little seaside coastal road, isn't it? They're driving down. Yeah. And you see a Porsche come behind him. She's like, oh no, Steve, they've caught up with us. He turns around and says, hang on tight. Mate, you are driving a Fiat 500 with a top speed of 40 miles per hour. You're not going to lose a Porsche. Never mind enough acceleration to wobble around inside the car. It's like, hold on tight, we'll get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, that Fiat 500, 40 mile an hour, that's downhill.
It's like brake horsepower of 25.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
No. And then,
somehow they kind of did.
But now they've somehow got two Porsche 911s and they outrun them. But then for some reason they then decide to pull over and they get out the car and they go, oh no, they're still following us. And then she kisses Steve and I'm like, oh, that's probably the most action he's had in 70 years.
Yeah.
And then she gets in the car, throws his shield out, drives away. And then she drives straight into the path of the Gucci squad who are all kind of modelling on the car. There's about 12 of them, all there with the Ray-Bans on, just like, nice of you to join us.
Yeah. 20 yards down the road before being stopped by a fashion shoot.
It was. They were all just posing, weren't they? They were all just like, she's really here. Everyone, take your positions. Just like, what the fuck?
It's so bizarre.
It is bizarre. It is bizarre.
I mean, this is how far she got down the road.
Yeah.
Steve walked there in 5 minutes.
Finds her headphones on the floor.
Just finds it.
Yeah. So then we're at Red Skull base and Sharon's thrown into prison. Red Skull's daughter's listening to the recording of the night the dad was taken.
Yeah.
After she's taunted Sharon a bit for killing a man.
But she don't know anything about that tape recorder. How does she know it's the dad?
Fuck knows.
No, she might think, this bird's into snuff porn.
I know.
What's going
what
on
a
here?
weird thing to have recorded. What are you listening to on your Walkman? What is this?
Is that your gym workout playlist?
Yeah. This is what you work out to, look. But then it turns out that Red Skull's there chatting to the president, and the doctor's like, no, we need to give it another 20 minutes. Steve's not here yet. We need to give it another 20 minutes for him to arrive and the president's blood pressure to come back up.
Yep.
And then we get a quick shot of the general. He's now at the base chatting with Red Skull, and he's like, let's blame it on the Soviets. And Red Skull's like, yeah, fine, whatever. And he's like, yes, that's a great idea. And then Steve arrives and gets his costume on.
Yeah, so he gets bollock naked on a cliff rock right next to everything.
Just like, yeah, better get changed into this.
One of the guards looking over is like,
what is he doing?
Is that... We had a nudist speech. Some like old guy just getting changed, bollock naked.
What's he getting dressed into? Why is he in a light? Is he getting into a gimp suit?
I think he is, I think he is. Yeah, Dave, come have a look at this, will you? Come have a look.
Yeah. Has that guy got an American flag gimp suit?
Like, what's that? He's got little wings on his head. Yeah. Look at this idiot.
Hey, rubber ears.
It's like, when's the snow due?
I know.
I don't know. Why? He's got a sled.
Yeah.
Why's he got a little sled with him?
Oh, he's going frisbeeing. So somehow, right, this bit cracks me up as well, right? So then it cuts to the president, and the president manages to kick his cell door open, right? And then he hides next to a wall as the goons walk past, right? And then literally there's bars, but the goons have to go in, open the door, open it, and go inside and go, he's not here. You can see straight in. The cell's only like this big.
Exactly.
Why did he have to open the door before they realise he's not in there?
And
It's
just
like
before
3 little bars.
that,
Yeah.
he sees Sharon down below.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, Sharon, how do you know who she is?
Good point.
You've never met her before.
No.
Just some random woman that's there." And you're like, "Oh, you all right, Sharon? How you doing? Is your mum all right?"
Yeah, that's Sharon, love. How's our birdie? Best blowjobs in Cali.
In Galley, isn't it? I was like, how does he know her? And like you say, it's the worst guards in history.
Yeah.
Can't look through a bar or anything, can you?
It just baffled me. He just goes over and locks it.
And he looks surprised when he's behind him running off up the stairs. He's like, "Huh? What are you doing there?
How did you... What?
How did you get away?"
How did you get here? But then the goons chase him up to the top of the castle and he's confronted by Red Skull. And he's like... And the president goes to him, "You need me for your plan, don't you?" And he's like, "Yes, we do. Excellent." And he goes, "Nope," and jumps off. And Red Skull's like, fuck's sake.
Luckily, Captain America's there to spoil the plan. He's like, "I just capture you on the way down."
Yeah.
What's the chances of that?
Yeah.
What's the chances?
I know. That the Captain America just happened to be climbing up the same side. The president just yeeted himself off.
The president's like, "Just kill me. Kill me. You ruin the whole plan. They can't do anything if you just kill me. Let me die." And he's like, no, I'm going to take you back to get captured again.
"You want to kill me over plastic, Steve?" But yeah, they pull him in and he goes, "I know you. I carry a picture of you everywhere with me." Why do you still have that picture? Did the guards not search it? Did they go, "Who the hell is that?"
He has it in his prison pocket.
Yeah, you can keep that picture, you weirdo.
He has it in his ass cheeks
Just
clenched.
rolled up like that and just shoved in.
If I was Steve, I'd be like, "Stalker much." What the fuck have you got a picture of me for?
And then Steve's like, "You were that kid?"
Yeah.
Fuck off, you seen a fucking kid.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, bullshit, mate.
And then he goes, "Oh, before I forget, here's the decoder that Sam gave me that I've been carrying around just in case it happens to come across you that time."
Did you get his little comment as well?
What?
Gee whiz.
Gee whiz.
Oh, you were that boy, weren't you? Gee whiz.
But and then then as the president's like, "Oh no, I'm not bailing on Captain America," and he's like, "Dude, you don't even know who this guy is." It's like all of a sudden you've got him on such high regard, and for all you know, he's just some weird guy running around in a American flag gimp suit.
Yeah. Fair play to him, though, because he actually takes out more guards than Captain America himself.
Oh, he does.
He's pretty handy, isn't he?
Yeah, because he pretends to surrender and Steve doubles back round them.
Yep.
And then the president takes one guy, which I thought was quite funny. He smashes into the wall and goes to punch him and just knocks him over.
Yep. That happened.
And then the president picks up a phone and calls NATO command. And goes, "It's the president." "Yeah, I wouldn't believe me either." Right? But then the president happens to bump into the general who's just strolling around because the general's just walking around like sees Captain America run past and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then turns the corner, walks into the president. Plastics?
We've got it all under control, General. It's all right. Yeah, he's not falling for that, mate.
Yeah. President knocks him out.
Again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Swift right hook.
Oh, yeah.
I quite like this bit because you have a little bit of a standoff now, don't we, between Steve and Red Skull.
Yeah.
And the line that I really liked was when Red Skull turns around and goes, "Let's see if your heart is stronger than my hate."
Yeah.
Quite a good one. I was like, I quite like that.
Because it's like in a courtyard, isn't it? So you've got like Red Skull sat there, and you've got Sharon's being held hostage by the daughter with a gun to her head.
Yep.
And then Captain America's walking towards him, and I don't think one of the goons got the memos because then he goes to shoot Captain America, but the president sees him, who just happens to be behind him, and the president, actually has a brain cell and has picked up a gun at this point.
Yep.
And then goes to shoot the guy, but the guy shoots the president in the arm, and then Steve throws his shield, which I did like, and he goes straight through, chops the gun in half.
Yeah, as it
the
does.
handgun, which was quite good.
Everything he's hit with a shield,
Yeah.
broken. It's not cut anything.
No.
Happens to cut a gun instead of knocking it out of his hand.
Straight through it like he was like just sharp as hell.
Yeah, like a knife in butter.
Then Red Skull's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake," grabs a machine gun, starts shooting at Steve. Steve now, president chucks him the shield. He gets the shield, rolls away, and then
good.
he does a Chuck Norris. What does he do?
What?
He goes to the president. He goes, Mr. President, thank you.
Oh, the thumbs up. What? This scene was actually really, really good, the way they did it. However, they ruined it because the director was wank.
Yeah.
Literally, within a 2-minute scene, there's about 40 cuts. It's like snap, 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 snap. It's like, it's too many cuts. Let's see the bit of the action.
The thing is as well, right? Do you know what had a lot of cuts that I never noticed at the time, but when I came to do the edit was End of Days. The amount of, when I was doing the edit for that, the amount of times they just went cut, like throughout the scenes, just different camera angles constantly. And I never noticed when watching it, but when I was doing the edit, I was like, Jesus Christ. Because I'd put the clip up and it would change in the clip. And it does the same in this quite a bit.
Yeah, literally, it's about 40 in about a minute and a half.
Especially when they're fighting, because, before Red Skull goes to get the gun, Red Skull comes over to him and kicks Steve's ass again, which I'm thinking is fair enough, even though he's older now. For Steve, it's only been like a week between when he got fired from the rocket to when he was found in kind of Alaska in his timeline. So Steve's had no extra training, but Red Skull, he's aged a bit, but he's like 70 years on Steve now. So he does kick Steve's ass a bit. But Steve kind of gets the upper hand when he keeps calling him brother, and he's like, "Stop calling me brother!" and then starts twatting him.
He loses his shit, then he over
and
it.
That's when Red Skull gets the machine gun, and Steve goes with the shield, and then does a Chuck Norris. Gives the president a cheesy thumbs up.
He actually kills one guy, with deflecting a bullet.
Does he?
Yeah, he goes, bats a bullet.
Oh, I didn't know it.
It's quite cool. It's like,
But then they're in like a little corridor, and he's firing another clip at Steve, and Steve's walking towards him with the shield.
Actually using the shield for what it's meant to be used for.
Yeah, so he's like, ding, 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 ding. And I was thinking, like, the shield only comes down to his...
shoot the legs.
Shoot the legs.
Why
doesn't he just go, okay, this isn't working, let's shoot the legs?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even think of that, does our Red Skull.
They never do that, do they?
And then Red Skull runs to the top of the castle, and...
Yeah.
What do we find? Just sat there in the open, Darren.
So this is his favourite spot in the whole castle, where he likes to play the grand piano. That is right, guys. You heard it right.
On the top of the castle, on like the end of the walls where the two walls meet, and there's like a keep there. On the roof of there is an old grand goddamn piano.
That's got to be out of tuned.
That has the salt water there must not. No, there's no way. There's no way.
There's no way that would be able to play.
No.
You'd be getting retuned every new wires.
It would need it. The wood would rot.
Everything. But it turns out though, this piano is a nuclear missile or nuclear bomb.
I don't know what it was, but he pulls from the middle of it. He pulls out this really convoluted detonator, and I don't know what was going on with it, but like it was going round, and then every now and then a little bit would pop out, and I'm like, why not just have a button?
Yeah, it'd be easier.
Yeah.
I was a bit confused about this bit.
Go on.
I really was, because that, like say, I thought it was the timer. So it's the timer that started.
Yeah.
But when Steve knocks him off the pier, off the edge, like he falls down the cliff, surely, because that went off with him, the timer would carry on. So it's got to be like a button operated where he's got to push it.
I think it was, but I think for some reason it like a bit comes out. I don't know if it's just like going around arming it, and when it's all armed, he can then press it and set everything off.
Even then, it's just weird.
But yeah,
it's not practical.
It's not practical. It would have just been easier to just have maybe a switch to arm and then a button to explode. But in the meantime, you've got this bit where Sharon manages to escape from Red Skull's daughter, and then hides as Red Skull's daughter runs past, and then goes, yoo-hoo! And then punches her, sticks a gun in her face, and says, "Is this the gun you used to kill my mum? It'll be too quick of a death for you if I just shoot you now." And I'm like, okay then. And then they end up on the roof of the castle.
Yep.
And then Red Skull's Steve can't get to him because Red Skull's got a gun still shooting. But then Sharon runs along, and they end up tripping over, and she drops the tape recorder.
Yep.
But then Red Skull starts shooting at Sharon and then somehow misses her, even though she's literally right there.
Completely misses.
Yeah, she's just lying on the floor, and he's just going, and just completely misses her. I don't know if he does that on purpose or what.
I like the way on this bit as well, when he's saying that he's going to blow up the place.
Yeah.
Like, people won't be able to inhabit the area for like 100 years and stuff.
Yeah, he says like Southern Europe.
And the daughter is there going, what? You what? What have you got there? Sorry.
Yeah.
She looked quite surprised when he's like, I'm going to kill everybody. She's like, What?
She did, to be honest, because
I'm here. You're not your daughter.
I did kind of didn't agree to this, Dad. You know, I thought you were going to set me up in a modelling career and stuff. You know, that's what you said. Take out Captain America and you'll give me a contract. But yeah, she did look a bit. She was kind of walking towards him as if saying, "Well, what are you doing, Dad?
Yeah,
what the hell?"
I thought she was actually going to start convincing him, like,
I thought
not to do it, but no, she didn't. She went along with the plan.
But then while Red Skull's daughter is kind of walking over to him, he runs over. Steve picks up the tape recorder, and then, like I mentioned before, he plays it, and somehow Red Skull from like half a mile away hears it.
Perfectly clear.
And then he goes, I was expecting more of a reaction than we got, to be fair. Because all he does is he goes, puts the gun down, and then looks at his daughter, and that's pretty much it.
Pretty much about it. Oh, and Steve got shot for the 6th time.
Oh, yeah, Steve gets shot as well. Yeah,
he got shot
again. Yeah. That's just a regular occurrence now. But
really
Steve throws his shield before he can press the button, and then he falls off a cliff. And
you can see that like a mannequin car. The arms are just in the air like that.
Just like, falling down the cliff. And I mean, that's a really shit way to do it. And then the daughter's like goes, "Oh, I'll get the gun now and try and shoot you." And Steve goes, "The shield comes back, love." Twats her in the back of the head. Just as
Italian SAS.
The president arrives, with like Delta Force or something, the SAS, and just runs over, and then Steve picks up Sharon, and they have a little moment.
And they look off into the distance.
Yeah. And then we have the best part of the film, a close up of the mask.
Yep, he turns around looking like a goat.
The mask was just like he turns around and he's like, oh, his eyes are just like, the mask is pushing into one of his eyes. Like, pull up an image here, but I just burst out laughing at that point.
I did like the transition, though, from the Captain America film to the comic book. I like that bit. Yeah. That was good.
The thing is, though, it's like, if you're going to get that shot of the mask, you at least make sure it fits in properly. Like it is on the picture behind us there. Like, at least it looks like it fits in. Why not just zoom into that? But instead, they're just like, quick, that'll do.
It's so random as well, this bit, because he's got his mask up at the end when he's fighting.
Yeah.
Right? And he throws the shield. And then it does a close-up of him looking out into the distance with his mask off. Then he's picked up Sharon. He's put his mask back on. And then it does a close-up with him.
Oh.
Why is he mask going on and off all the time?
Oh, fuck knows.
But that is it, guys. That is the end of Captain America.
So
if you made it this far, well done.
Yeah, please like and subscribe. So go on, what are your final thoughts on this?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I really did. It was one of them, right? It was so bad. It was good. A little bit like Samurai Cop.
To be honest, like watching the film, watching the film was pretty painful, but talking back through it now, there are some kind of unintentional funny bits and the cheesiness of it a bit. But
it's the way they did it, because at the start was shit. It was so boring and stuff like that. Yeah. And then as it started to pick up, it was just so bad. It was good. I was like, laughing at some of the bits.
Yeah, because it kind of builds up and then it kind of then abruptly ends as well. Like Red Skull falling off the cliff, and then all of a sudden it just fell over. But yeah, just a random one. But should we do the result of the clip quiz?
Clip quiz.
We've entered into a contract with the city to run local law enforcement. But at Security Concepts, we believe an efficient police force is only part of the solution. No.
Got to let us know who it is.
RoboCop.
Hey, who is it?
Ronnie Cox.
Ronnie Cox at RoboCop.
If you got that right, give yourself a pat on the back. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Congratulations, RoboCop.
Congratulations. Now, this section, we give out our own awards. We have the best actor, best character, worst character, Hot Babe Award, 3 things you liked about the film, and your personal rating out of 10, along with the Wall of Fame when we come to it as well. Yeah. If you want to play along, again, as I said before, you can either join our Discord, or go to YouTube on the community section, and the film we'll put out on there, like what we're going to be recording next. Give your answers in, and then you can play along.
Because remember, next week we're doing a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Stay tuned to YouTube. I'll let you know.
We're not doing Chappie.
Chappie.
Oh, Chappie. Hey, Chappie.
It just depends on Bezos.
Come on, Jeff. Do us a solid. Anyway, should we get on to the best actor?
Best Actor, aka the King Kong Award.
Yeah, that's right.
King
You
Kong.
better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Oh, I like that. I like it. Look at the passion in your face.
King Kong just ain't got
He's
shit
loving
on
it,
me, mate. Want me to go first?
Ronnie Cox.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I've gone for a Scott Pauling, Red Skull.
Really? About
Considering,
midway through, he was Italian, then he was German, then he was Russian, then he was American.
but he was a very well acted Russian, German, Italian, American.
His accent was all over the place.
It was, but I think considering the shit he had on his face and the role he had to play, I thought he did it quite well.
Especially at the start, it looked like he had cataracts.
Yeah, the start when he looked like a testicle. He looked
Kind of
like
reminded me of Daredevil.
he looked like a half-eaten lollipop.
It really was. Okay, next award, the Golden Seagull, aka the Golden Seagull Award.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
Blood bank.
Who are you going to take to the blood bank?
I'm going to take to the blood bank is Red Skull's daughter.
Me too, Francesca Neri,
Hey!
who apparently is her name in it was Valentine Zisantas.
All right.
Apparently, Red Skull's daughter. Yeah, I've got the same.
Are they just looking for the most Italian name as they could?
I think so. Valentine Zisantas.
Oh, yeah. Italian all over that
I
one.
wonder if it's supposed to be D Santas and he's just been corrected by Pages.
Probably.
But anyway, yeah.
Probably.
Best character?
Best character. Captain America.
I've gone Captain America.
He's got to be Captain America.
Yeah. Worst character?
The General.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty bad to be fair.
Plastics. Why get rid of the plastics?
I've gone for Sharon!
Sharon.
Sharon! I didn't think she needed to tag along, to be honest. I don't think Captain America needed a love interest in it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hot Babe Award.
The Italian bird who looks out the window and greets Captain America when he gets there and he doesn't speak Italian and Sharon comes along and talks. I thought she was pretty tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, she was all right.
Who have you gone for?
I've actually gone for the General's daughter. I mean, Red Skull's daughter.
Have you?
Yeah, because I went with much to it. And then Sharon kind of started growing on me a little bit.
Sharon in the right light looked alright.
In the right light.
In the right light.
Not in the right light. Kind of reminded me of, do you remember in like the early 80s or something like that, or 90s, where it was some like little old woman dressed up in a school kid?
What the fuck were you watching?
She was dressed, it's like a little old woman. It's like a comedy thing.
Yeah.
And he used to have like an old school hat with like shorts and like a blazer on or something. Kind of reminded me of that. I was like, no.
All right then. No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know. You'll have to put up a picture or something, but
Yeah.
no, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, 3 things you liked about the film.
One. So, right, I had...
You go. I'll try and find the picture.
I like the mask at the end.
Yep.
The zoom in of the mask. That just made me literally laugh out loud when he zoomed in. The overall cheesiness of the movie I thought was quite good.
Yeah.
And the cafe scene when the two women just can't shoot for shit. And that kind of whole action sequence there.
Yeah. You know what I'm on about, don't you?
I've never seen that before in my life. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, no, I've never seen that before in my life.
It's the Crankits. Or the Crankies.
The Crankies.
It kind of actually looks like Nicola Sturgeon.
It does a bit, actually. In that's it now, she was a Scottish Independence Party.
Yeah. Right, 3 things for me. I put when Steve chases Red Skull down in the castle.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had a little bit of a fight scene. It's quite good. The pedal bike scene.
Yeah.
And how cheesy it all is.
Yeah.
And really like the ending when it turned into a comic book character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Rating out of 10.
5.
I've gone for 4.
Have you?
But in brackets, 6 for entertainment.
To be honest, I've just winged that score. I didn't actually put one down, but I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do. But I think it deserves more than the 3. What was it? 3.8?
3.2.
3.2 that it was.
That's a low.
I know.
A bit low, that.
Considering like
Really
the time
is.
period, obviously, if you compare it to the Marvel movies nowadays, it doesn't hold up in the slightest. But as a
no.
standalone,
God,
film-
no.
No.
God, no.
No, God, no.
CGI. To be fair, there was no CGI, was there?
Not that I noticed.
No.
Maybe a few of the flames at the beginning or something. I don't know.
Possibly.
But yeah. So Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame. Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Right. Do you let us know what it's about?
Yeah, so at the end of the film, like we're doing now, we put it into one of our categories. So we have want to skip, worth a watch, or must see.
Yeah.
So where would you stick this on our Wall of Fame?
It's between worth a watch and a must see, and I'm actually leaning towards a must see because it's that bad. It's freaking good.
Can't do it. It's not one to skip. I think like if you want to laugh and you want to laugh at something from the early 90s that's cheesy as fuck. If you want to see Captain America on a budget, then
it's the origin story.
It's worth a watch. But I don't know if I don't know if it's a must see. I don't think it's one of them films you have to see before you die type thing.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's just where it all started. Without this, you wouldn't have everything else.
You would, because it was a comic book series before, and it's not like this made it. To me, this reeks of someone having the rights and had to make a film so they didn't lose it.
Probably, yeah. Probably is that, mate.
And somehow managed to scrape together $3 million and fancied a holiday in Yugoslavia.
It's just got the Samurai Cop vibes.
It does, but I don't know. It's just more well put together than Samurai Cop, so it kind of loses a few.
True.
Things,
but like you say, actually, at the start is shit. it's a bad one. But just stick with it past the first half hour.
When you kind of look into it and you're thinking, like, well, what's the story actually about? So it's about them kidnapping a president just because he wants to get rid of plastics. That alone makes you laugh out loud. But just watching the film in general, you probably wouldn't pick up on that. You're just thinking, oh, the president's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
But it's the little details maybe that you just maybe don't pick up on it that makes it funny. But I don't know if it's a must see.
No, it's probably not, to be fair. Being realistic.
I'd say it's worth a watch.
Worth a watch. Gotta go for that?
Worth a watch.
Okay, worth a watch it is.
Yeah, so there it is on the Wall of Fame. Worth a watch. Captain America, 1990. It is bad.
It really is, mate. It's just his little outfit with his little wings and everything.
Oh, jeez, and the plastic ears. Plastic ears.
Who had the wings on the head first? Captain America or Thor?
I don't know.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Exact same.
Maybe it was just a fad at the time. Fuck it, stick wings on his head. The costume's just missing something. What can we add? Wings.
Go faster.
Go faster wings, yeah. But yeah.
Captain America, 1999.
Yeah. So
1990.
So next week, join us for
Chappie.
Hey, Chappie.
Is depending on Amazon.
Yeah, so we'll either be Chappie or the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, stay tuned for them.
Yeah.
And on that note,
yeah,
have a great evening, have a great day, and I'll
like,
see you again next time.
subscribe, get your nan to subscribe as usual, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
Yep. Take care. I've been Darren.
I've been Eric. Take care,
Bye for
guys.
now.
Love you.